Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday evening edition of one of the raunchiest podcasts on YouTube, and that is Gaming After Dark. We do things just a little bit differently here, so make sure that you've got your kids put to bed and that the wife is not close enough to give you the dirty stink eye if you're on this show, on this panel, all this good stuff. We got an amazing chat, but we have got some fantastic guests. But before we get to our introduction of those amazing guests tonight, I have to introduce our panel. First off, let's get this one out of the way. Titan Drago, he took such a beatdown last week. He's still suffering from the bruises and sitting in the corners. He is out of the action this week. Oh, look, he's in the chat. What's going on, Titan? We're going to miss you tonight, brother, but we hope to see you back next week, all in good fun. So Titan is not here, but we do have the one, the only, the man who is loud, proud, and ready to roll each and every week. It's the one, the middle-aged game guy.
Well, good evening, Noof. Good evening, chat, and good evening to our esteemed guests tonight on Gaming After Dark. Yes, we've got ourselves a great show. It's going to be even greater because Titan's not here. And yes, don't worry, Titan. I saw in the chat that you call us a bunch of frauds. Yeah, I did see that. Don't worry. And I'm really, really happy that the Smite servers crashed. So anyways, guys, we have a great show tonight. So everybody stay tuned. It's going to be a good time. I look forward to it. And let's get right into it.
Our next guest has been long overdue to join us here on the show. I know he's been coming out to some of my podcasts recently, and it's good to see that support. As you say, support and be supported. Well, he definitely lives up to that mantra. He is a founding member of the Gamers United Guild and has a podcast on the original Next Level Gaming. Some of you guys know him as Mike, but he's not here to take a hike tonight. He's here to bring it, and he was pretty excited about being on the show. And, you know, it's nothing better than having a guest that's actually excited to be on Gaming After Dark. So I want to welcome the original Next Level Gaming, Mike Mullets. What's happening?
Was I not supposed to be excited?
I don't know. Some people sound like it's pulling teeth. It's like you want to be on Gaming After Dark, and I think they're kind of like, it's a modest hesitation here.
No, dude, I ran to Fastback and HDK, said, dude, Noof wants me on his show. What lottery did I win? So here I am.
Wow, I don't know if it's a good lottery or not, man. You better check those fucking tickets there.
That was one hell of an intro, though. I got to tell you, Noof, thank you so much. And I do say all seriousness, it's great to be here. I have been working towards watching the show a little more. Last week got me in trouble with the wife. I was laughing so hard between Little HK Guy and Titan. That was fantastic. So being on here is an honor, and I really appreciate it. And hey, man, you and the community game night and the stuff that you do, Noof, it's great what you do and what you're trying to do with the community. So it's an honor for me to be here.
I appreciate that, brother. I've been trying. I've been at this a long time. It's like I said, my channel is is growing slower than a rock in the fucking desert, man. Let me tell you. It's
hey, mine too. Well, you know what? It's when you do positive. I'm gonna just shit on everybody right now. Why not? If you do positive stuff and you're trying to be good for the community, people don't want to watch you. I don't know what it is. So, you know, I just
People
need
love
to
drama, man.
Exactly. I just need to break bottles and talk shit, and then we'll get 700,000 subs, and
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's kind of, sometimes it's a little discouraging, but it is what it is, man. But at least for those of us who stay true, we never waver no matter what it is. At least we can say that we have integrity, and that like I said, we do this for fun, and we let the cards fall where they may. We're not clickbait. We're not going to alter ourselves to be something that we're not. Like I said, if you got a fraud out to get the views, good for you, man. But like Mag will tell you, man, the people that are in this chat right now, these guys are here week in, week out, love the show, and I'll take 50, 60 of these guys over 1,000 people that don't mean shit, that fucking don't care a rat's ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly it, man. I say the same thing about our chat room on NLG. I'd put them up against any chat room of a drama-based show any day of the week, because you know what, they come in, they talk games, they're positive, they interact, and we love interacting with them. So I got the chat room open. Brother Pong's in the house. My two brothers HTK and Fastback, they're in the house. We got this. We got this.
We got to introduce our next guest, and And let me just tell you right now, the Kraken is never lacking with this man. It is the Phantom Kraken. Some of you guys may have heard him with his commentary over on the Weebly Green podcast with Dirk Griggity and company on Monday nights. It is one of the coolest, most fun Xbox shows, or Xbox-centric shows, I guess, that you can check out. Love those guys over there. Big fan of what they're doing, so I couldn't wait to get him on. I've had Griggity on in the past, so now it is Kraken his turn to drop the heat tonight. And before he just says hello, I got to say, I kind of miss having a female on the podcast here, because it would be really nice if someone like Primal Lee was able to introduce the guy that's in the chat, Mike Hunthurts. So there, can somebody get that man some cream? All right, but how's it going, Phantom?
I'm absolutely stoked to be in here, man. Thanks for the invitation. Hopefully, I can, entertain everybody in your chat. I love your show. I try to watch it every Tuesday as much as I can. But man, I'm happy to be here. Hopefully, I'll do the best. Like my friend Sean says on the panel, I'll try to talk that shit. And Dirt, I know you're in the chat. Kiss my ass, Dirt. Let's do it.
There you have it. All right, speaking of the chat, before we get into the topics, let's give a shout out to the amazing people who are here each and every week. Look at that. Pong Soul putting in the work. If this man's not on a podcast, he's probably in your chat on the podcast. You can't ask for anything better. Pong Soul, everybody. What's going on, Pong? Spider-Man, one of my longest loyalist followers, been going with me ever since I was swearing at fucking Mass Effect Andromeda when I was streaming that shit. All of those damn alien puzzles. He'll tell you it was pretty good times. Jesse Darby is in the house. Can't have a podcast without Jesse swinging by. Draven Arrow is here. Crispy Rambo, Casket Repair, the one, the only Doggy Dog. I knew I heard the doghouse was in the distance. Titan Drago is hanging out with us. Like he said, he can't be with us tonight, but he is here in spirit. He'll probably be with us for a little while anyway. He's on vacay, as a matter of fact. Well, Titan, enjoy the vacay, bro, and hope everything goes well. We got Fastback, HGK 360. We got Back from the Dead. So we got some of our community game night people in the house. I love it. Good stuff. We got Deck is here as well. Who else? We got Iceman, my good buddy Ice. Great guy to play Gears with, or any game with, as a matter of fact. One of my longtime buddies and good gamer. Axel 1324. DJ Berto Doss. What's happening? Dirt Griggity. Shizno Elite. My good friend Ryan Galloway is hanging out with us. What's going on, Ryan? Geez, we got a crew here. Like I said, Mike Hunt hurts. Sorry.
We get a Mike Roch in there. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, Mike Roch. That's awesome. Kylo Milo. What's going on? Emmanuel A1. My Archives. Custodes X. Fastback. Yes, I think I've caught up with everybody. If I missed you guys, make sure that you let me know. Our Rob is here. What's happening? All right, let's get right into the topics. We got a loaded show. It's going to be good tonight. Obviously, Titan's not here, so he won't be able to do his segment, but don't worry. Tony Baloney will be back, and he is ready to roll. Let me tell you, I'm sure he'll have some great words to say tonight. And Ask Arnold midway through the show. Don't forget to get your questions ready in advance for that gentleman as he comes in. So, first question, basically, first topic of the night, we're going to talk about. It's not really a big topic per se, but it's certainly been something that, I guess as fanboys or fans or however you really want to look at it, it's been kind of a topic of debate almost a month in, a month out. It's like clockwork. So one of those things you can count on. Xbox brings out games with gold, and a few days later we find out PlayStation Plus games. Now, unless you're living under a rock, and I guess it all depends on what perspective you're in. I guess both services are offering up some pretty good games. It really depends on how you look at it. I'm not going to say one way or the other. But I guess for the most part, we can definitely say that PlayStation's been laying it down, and Xbox has been kind of handing out the dribble. I would say it's safe to say that. I think that's the consensus across the board when you look at reaction on social media. Xbox pretty much did put out a lot of dribble-ass games this past month. But PlayStation today launched with the new game. This is the thing, a new one, Oddworld Soulstorm. Brand new game. Mm-hmm. You can play it on the PS4, PS5. I think that's the PS5 version they have on there. Or maybe it is only out on the PS5. I can't remember.
No, it's PS4 as well.
PS4. So there you go. A brand new game, like just launched today, and it's already on PlayStation Plus. Plus, you get a lot of people's one of their biggest favorite games. Was it last year, the year before last, in Days Gone. So still a relatively new game. A lot of people still haven't played it. If you have it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Do not pay attention to the reviews. This game is much better than some of the scores that it got. And Zombie Army Trilogy, if you're looking for a great co-op game with your buddies, man, you cannot go wrong with Zombie Army. That's one of the first times I ever played a game with Zocker from RDX. He's pretty good at that game, and Dealer and those guys. So yeah, so that's a really cool game. I'd have to say, man, that's 3 winners right there in my personal opinion. PlayStation's killing it. So the question is, why do you think they keep killing it? Do you think part of it is to show up Xbox, that they kind of go all out and put these big games in, like really, AAA level recognizable names in their service, while Xbox has kind of been going with low key, like old 360 stuff, arcade games you pretty much never heard of, that sort of thing. So how do you feel about it, guys? And let's let the guests have a shot at this one first, and we'll start with you, Mike. What do you think about this month's offering from PlayStation, and how do you feel about the whole kind of back and forth on this?
Oh, it's a great offering. I mean, I'm an old Oddworld fan. So, and actually, one of the very few games my wife has even played. She played one of the original Oddworld Xbox titles. I think it was Abe's Odyssey. So that, and Soulstorm looks fantastic. So that's an easy download. Days Gone, I had been waiting for a sale, but what better sale than part of your PS Plus subscription? Mm-hmm. And Zombie Army 4 I'll check out for sure. But what I think is something to note though, and not saying this for any other reason than there are two. I've said this before on my show. There are 2 different paths that Sony and Microsoft are kind of going, and depending on how you feel about things like Game Pass, PS Now, Xbox Live, PS Plus will kind of determine how you enjoy what the offerings are. I think the biggest difference we're seeing, and again, there's no right or wrong here, but the biggest difference is PlayStation's putting these games in PS Plus. And Microsoft is putting their big games in Game Pass. Mm-hmm, it just depends on which way you want to go. Thankfully, I've got both Game Pass and PS Plus, so I get the best of both worlds. I think that you're going to continue to see this because I think eventually, my opinion is Microsoft's going to drop the games with gold games to just, they want you in Game Pass. They want you in Game Pass much more than Sony wants you in PS Now. Sony wants you in PlayStation. They want you buying their console. Microsoft wants you in their ecosystem. And it's just two different approaches. That's all. To me.
No, and it's well summed up. I don't think there's really a right and wrong. I think we kind of know why both companies sort of do what they do. Obviously, they're sort of similar, but heading in different directions on a few different things. So well said, Mike. Indeed. How about you, Kraken? I mean, Kraken, I don't know. Are you a PlayStation owner? Do you have PlayStation Plus?
I do have a PlayStation 4. I don't play much on that console, though. I just play the exclusives. But in regards to PS Plus, the offering is good. I mean, Days Gone is a great game. Zombie 4. I'm not much into zombie games, but I've heard a lot of people like that game. Is a good co-op game. The other one is Lost Odyssey, which is I remember playing a little bit on the OG Xbox. It was entertaining for me a little bit. So, but I mean, I agree 100% with Mike. It just depends how you look at it. I mean, I think Sony play the PS Plus. I always confused Now and Plus. PS Plus to them is more valuable. And to Xbox, Game Pass is more valuable to them. So that's why you see those games going to different places instead of PS Now and Gold. There's there's no point to putting games on Gold right now. Yeah. So they just put it on Game Pass, where everybody, they want the subscription, they want you there. That's where they want the people. And on PlayStation, it's the opposite. They just want everybody on PS Now, on PS Plus, and buying their games. So it's just 2 different philosophies of where is more valuable to them to place the game. So, but other than that, it's a good offering, man. Days Gone, you can't go wrong with Days Gone. Let's just say that.
Like Mike said, do you guys think the writing is on the wall, though, for games of gold, that perhaps they will potentially scrap it and it's somehow in part of Game Pass?
I don't know, because if you look at the subscription, how many people are subscribed only to Xbox Gold on just for the online Xbox Live? How many people are there compared to Game Pass? So
Right.
if they still have more people on Xbox Live Gold, then you shouldn't stop offering games unless you're just eliminating gold altogether and everybody's on Game Pass and just paying one single fee. But until you have two subscription bases, I don't think they should eliminate the free games, but the free games should be at least better because they're extremely lacking. And that's not, it just feels like, what's the point?
Right.
Well, the one thing real quick and I didn't realize this, it kind of got clarified a little bit in the chat too. Oddworld Soulstorm, the version that is in PlayStation Plus this month is only the PS5 version. So if you're a PS4 owner, you're kind of out of luck. You're going to have to go and buy the PS4 version, which is what I have right now because I can't get a PS5. And so, that's that kind of, I'm not going to lie, that kind of brings it down to just a slight notch for me.
Right. No, that's a great point because there are still a lot of people out there trying to get a PlayStation 5 and they can't get it. And by the time they do, well, this game won't be on there. So they'll probably have to pay, full price. And maybe that's what they're hoping is that they get this game out, the word spreads, and perhaps by the time it's gone and people get their PS5, like people are like, man, you got to try this Oddworld game, man. It's pretty cool. And then they'll sell out, sell more copies of the game.
The other thing that makes me think also that why Oddworld is going to Game Pass, PS Plus, is that there's not many PS5s out there. So they're like, okay, if the offering is not there, there's not many people on PS5 yet. So we have to give it away just to recoup their money. That's other things that I start thinking like maybe these games on PS Plus are going there just because there's not many people with PS5s. So they just have to put it out there. I mean, look at Destruction All-Stars and Bugsnax. I don't think those games were going to sell anyway, but because you don't have 10, 15 million PS5s out there, you got to get your money somewhere. So what better place
I
than
think
PS Plus?
I think it's the Game Pass mantra here where it's all about engagement, right? Where it's you get more engagement this way because honestly, like if Oddworld was going like say if that's an Xbox thing, like I'm pretty sure that probably 80% of us would be like, you know what, we'll just wait for it to go to Game Pass.
Yes.
Right. It's not something that a lot of people would play it, but I don't see a lot of people going, oh my god, I gotta get out the newest Oddworld game. Like, I know people have a fond hankering for some of the old ones, but still it's one of those titles that you're kind of like, yeah, I'll give it a shot, but you're not exactly, like I said, you're not running down the street with your pants on fire, ready to pick it up. You know what I mean? So, Meg, how about you, man? How do you feel about it? Do you think maybe games with gold kind of goes the way of the Dota board here? Like, what's your take on this?
Well, first of all, what Mike and Phantom were saying already is pretty much everything I was going to say in terms of why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, you could see what Microsoft is doing. Sony clearly knows that PS Now is not the Game Pass contender. Okay, It can't light a candle to it. But PS Plus, and maybe that's what they've realized, and they're like, wait a minute, we've got all these people here in PS Plus, and then we don't have all these people in PS Now. Let's focus more on the PS Plus thing. You're basically paying the same. I mean, a couple dollars less, but you're still paying basically the same as a basic Game Pass subscription. Okay, it's just a couple dollars cheaper. So if you have, like, let's say 30, 40, 50 million dollars, whatever, or 40, 50 million people on PS Plus, if not way more, then that's where you put your focus, right? So they're kind of like, well, we got this existing thing right now. We have all these people there. Let's try and keep them there and trying to get more people there. And I think that what's going to happen, and just saying like again, what Mike was saying, it's a difference in philosophies here, right? Whereas Xbox, they look like they're going to be eradicating gold almost at some point, almost entirely, right? And so they're not going to focus on games with gold. Why would you bother putting AAA games or big games and games with gold when it's an antiquated service when the majority of those people have already jumped off to Game Pass? Now, the other thing is, let's say you get like a base Game Pass subscription, okay? For $5 extra, you get gold with it. So you get Ultimate. Right, so like for $5 extra, you're getting gold and Game Pass. So why the hell would you buy one and not the other You know what I'm saying? It's kind of silly. It's almost like,
Right.
like those deals when you go to a store, you're like, buy one, get the second one free, or buy two and get the third for half price, whatever, right? Half price, that kind of thing. That's kind of what they've done here. Because if you buy gold through Game Pass, like with the ultimate subscription, you're paying half the price. So that's what they're literally nudging you towards Game Pass and away from games with gold. And I think that at some point, Gold, Xbox Live Gold, and you see they've already renamed it. It's no longer called Live anymore. It's called what, the Xbox Network or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got that thing going on. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to push everybody off to Game Pass. They don't give a shit about live games with gold anymore. The games with gold is just going to get folded into Game Pass eventually. My guess is within the year. And then that's it. And then it'll be done with. And honestly, how many more free games are you going to give? Like I said, why would you bother giving a AAA game in games with gold when you could just put it into Game Pass and bolster up the Game Pass and get more people onto there? Because then the people are going to be like, wait a minute, I'm spending whatever, $8 a month for gold. But then for, $6 more, I can get Game Pass and gold. Like, that's ridiculous. So that's obviously what they're doing. So you could see that Sony is moving towards the PS Plus. That seems to be working for them. And those games, by the way, great. I'm not an Oddworld player. I tried a couple of Oddworlds here and there, even way back when in the 90s, and it just doesn't do it for me. But that's fine. But you know what? Days Gone, I just got the Platinum last week, by the way. I got the Platinum.
Very
finally.
nice.
Yeah, oh man, it took me like 85 hours. But holy shit, that was tough. I mean, it wasn't tough. It was just really long. But anyways, got the Platinum on Days Gone. Loved that game. Adored it. But there are some interesting things here, and this is something I don't want to dive too deep into this, but it's something that's really starting to piss me off, and it's something that Xbox is doing much better than Sony is this fucking PS4, PS5 versions, no smart delivery. It's so goddamn confusing for the customer, the consumer, the average consumer, not guys who are sitting here on this panel, not guys who are and gals who are in the chat. Okay, and you know what I mean? Like, we know what's going on. But the thing is, like, you look at it like, oh, okay, so this is the PS4 version, but I got a PS5. So what do? Oh, it's an extra $10 for this, and they're giving away this copy, but it's the PS4 copy, or oh no, they're just giving away the PS5 copy now. Like, Jesus Christ, like, can't you guys get your shit together and just release it as one? But they don't have smart delivery.
No, and Back from the Dead said something in the chat that. Yeah, I get his point, and I know Newfew just brought up. I get his point, but actually thinking about that, I hate to say it, makes me even angrier because I could still download it and it'll sit there, in my app until I get a PS5. In the meantime, the same people who have a PS5 who I pay the same amount per month for that subscription are getting to play it now.
Are getting the game. Are getting the game, and you can't.
Right. So I don't get to play it until I spend that other $500 on a PS5, which goodness knows when that's actually gonna happen.
Right. Now,
Mike, so why not do the PS4 and PS5 version, right?
Exactly. Right. Or why are there? Now, see, these are the things. Let's cut through the fat here and go right to the beginning of this. Why is there a PS4 and a PS5 version completely separated? They had no intention of carrying the PS4 to the PS5. And I've been saying that forever, that we believe in generations thing, that whole thing that they were talking about. I really do. I'm not here to shit talk Sony. I'm really not. But I just want to get, cut to the chase here, is that they tried to separate them because they wanted more people to adopt the PS5. Fine. That's great. If that's what you want to do, great. But actually have them available to do so. But because right now what's happening is you're causing so much confusion in the Sony community that people don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know which version is what's who's going where. Like, they gave away what's it called? Their Final Fantasy VII remake. I think that's that's in there now, right? In the service.
Yes. Might be out right now. It was last month.
Oh, okay, right. So, but it was offered at some point,
yes,
right?
Correct.
It was last month. That was only the PS4 version. Because now they're releasing a PS5 version, which, of course, those assholes want to charge you full price for again, just for a PS5 version or an upgrade. I think you have to pay an upgrade if you already owned it on the PS4. Well, right? I'm like, what are you guys doing? What is this, 2003?
Well, to be fair, 2K Games is doing that same crap in
they are.
Game Pass with NBA.
It's a crappy company, let's be honest.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Sony is the owner of the console. They should be offering something better for your customer. and not
right,
this
exactly.
crap that you're
Now look at
offering.
MLB The Show.
Exactly.
MLB The Show is coming to Game Pass, and you're getting the Xbox One version, but with smart delivery, they're actually also giving you the Series X, Series S version.
Yep.
For free
Yep.
because of smart delivery. So, I mean, these are things that you have to look back on and say, you know what? They were working on an antiquated system, on an antiquated business model that is no longer will no longer be viable within a year. That's how I feel about it, and I don't think I'm wrong here, because now you're going to cause so many problems where people are just going to dump their PS4s and say, "Fuck it, I'm done," and they're going to go straight to that PS5 and just, you know what I mean? Because I think they actually cause confusion on purpose. I know this sounds nuts. I like wearing like a tinfoil hat right now, but it's like I think they cause confusion on purpose just to get people to say, you know what, this is fucking crazy. Like, for example, here, let me bring up another example very quick while I'm on this rant right now. How about transferring your PS4 saves? Just ask Zocker and those guys and Fonz.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
Yeah.
Transferring your PS4 saves to a PS5 is a fucking nightmare. You know what I had to do for my Xbox? Turn it on. That's it. I just turned it on, and it was all there. But they made it difficult on purpose because they don't want you to carry over old games. They want you to buy new software. They want you to buy new hardware, and they want to keep pushing you forward and basically keep you buying new stuff. They don't want you to bring your old stuff. They don't care about legacy. They don't care about any of that kind of stuff. I really don't believe that. But anyways, that's way off topic.
So my question for you guys, and so where does it leave me though? Like, if we think they're getting rid of games with gold, or sorry, games of gold, and basically the Xbox Live Gold per se, where does it leave a guy like me who does not want to upgrade to Game Pass? I don't care about the free games or not. Like, to me, that's always been just a bonus because I've always paid for gold since day one. And to me, it was always, for me, I invested in gold because it meant I could do party chats. I could get better servers. There was just, it was just a better service. I've always believed in it and in things. Like, if you want good service, you got to pay for it. Microsoft's always been some of the top. Have they had blips in the radar? Absolutely. So where does it leave a guy like me who doesn't want Game Pass? So I could care less about the free games of gold, but what about the online asset? Do you think that changes?
I think they're going to eradicate it entirely. That I think that online will just be online
free.
like PC. It'll be free.
No, I think it's going to be free because there's a rumor around that it's still running. That eventually, because I think it's going to happen around Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, the multiplayer is going to be free. There's already been.
They did say free to play is coming. Okay,
exactly.
For any game that's free to play, you'll be able to do that. But I do think that very shortly after they will eradicate once Game Pass has hit a certain milestone,
which I think is going to be around the 40 to 50 mark.
That's what I'm thinking. Right, 40, 50 million. Then they will eradicate gold.
But
not eradicate it. They'll make the online free because the whole idea is for Game Pass to be successful enough to subsidize. Well, right, and subsidize the online piece, because that's really been what it's been about. The whole reason Microsoft charged for online in the first place is because they needed money to pay for the servers, to pay for the infrastructure. But if they get that Game Pass money, those who don't, and I'm glad that you said that, Noof, because I was actually about to ask you how you felt about this, considering I know from seeing you on Twitter and in chat rooms and stuff that you are not a fan of Game Pass. And by the way, that's okay. Let's get that out of the way too. This whole nonsense of, well, if you can't like Game Pass because this is what it does, or if you don't like Game Pass, you're not a gamer. Get that out. Let's throw that in the trash. It's okay for people. Again, you have to decide what your
I'm just traditional,
right? And that's okay. You could be traditional. You can be, I only want physical. You can, that's the beauty of the industry right now, is there's a lot of that choice going about. So for you, Noof, what I'm hoping is that you'll benefit in the way of, those of us who are in Game Pass will kind of subsidize those of you who just want to play online.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm okay with that too, because I know what I'm getting in Game Pass. And I know that, if you're buying games and you're coming in and we're gaming together, I know what my value is. Mm-hmm. And if it benefits you, I'm fine with that. It's great. So that's what I'm hoping happens, Noof.
I think it will happen, but like I said, it's going to have to hit that milestone first. So they're not going to cut off their Xbox Live Gold a profit that's coming in. They're not going to cut that off now and take a loss. There's not a chance, because that is a monthly bolster. That's a big dump truck of cash that they take every single month that they can use, just like you said, for the upkeep of their servers, the Azure cloud, everything else that they're working on. And then they could also use that money now. They could start using that money, which they're doing also with the Game Pass money, is that they start also being able to purchase these big AAA games day and date. Third-party games, excuse me. I should reiterate that, because now look what you just got this month alone. You got Outriders, and then now you've got MLB The Show coming in a couple of weeks. And now also, by the way, just on a side note, Zombie Army 4, which is what's going to PS Plus, is actually showing up in Game Pass this month as well.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yes. So now they just announced that today. So now with MLB The Show, the same week, I believe, is Zombie Army 4 is coming to Game Pass as well. So there you go. So that's kind of a tit for tat situation, but they still have to dish out cash for that. So they're going to be still using that Xbox Live Gold. But once they hit that threshold, then yes, Noof will benefit from that. However, the only thing that Noof is not going to benefit, and like I said, you know what? It's his choice. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yep.
You know, whatever he wants to do. He wants to buy his games full price. Go right ahead. No one's going to stop you. No one's going to talk shit. Well, some people talk shit, but that's because they're idiots. But just let people do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you could either go to Spotify or you could still buy a CD online. You know what I mean? For like an artist.
Still do.
There you go.
Well, there you go. So if you like doing that, that's great. The only thing is that in the long run, you will be spending more money than like, let's say, for example, like myself, like for Game Pass. Like, let's say we're talking like when Gear 6, Fable, Avowed, Elder Scrolls, all those games, assuming you were going to purchase all those games, right? I'm going to be getting all those for like whatever, $160 a year.
And that never bothered me 5 years ago. It never bothered me.
There you go.
2 years
ago. That's okay.
2 months ago. It doesn't bother me.
That's great.
If you guys, like I said, I don't have, and I say it 100 times, people don't get it through their head. I don't have a problem with Game Pass. I'm not here to shit on it.
Yeah.
It's the best value in gaming, and I 100% get why people are on it. I'm also doing it. There's a one other thing too that people just forget, and I suppose it's just me being old-fashioned. I'm trying to hang on to a little bit of a legacy here, okay? Because I've seen retailers go out of business. I've seen the retail people go out of business. Like everything that I've known and loved that I've grown up with has kind of gone the way of the dodo bird. And the thing is, the faster we move forward with these things, the faster it goes under. You know what I mean? I watched that show. I think it was, I don't know if it's on Netflix, about the last Blockbuster, which is in friggin' Alaska. Some lady's still keeping the store alive. And I applaud that lady. You know, I applaud that lady. As crazy as that sounds, there's one friggin' Blockbuster store. She still runs it with these old computers. And I get it. The future comes whether you want it or not, whether you're ready to or not. But I just like
so that's but therein lies a really good question, because I know somebody who literally said to me, if I'm forced into this, I will walk away from gaming, which to me is that's where I kind of draw a line of, okay, you're kind of being a little ridiculous.
Part?
But
yeah, it's a little eccentric.
If that is the way of the future, and if that is just where we are going, where do you stand with gaming in general then, Noof?
Here's let me jump on this.
Do you come along?
Well, like I said,
Noof, let me
go ahead,
speak on this part, because
go ahead, brother. Take it away.
You're totally opposite of me, because unfortunately, for those who don't know, I don't live in the United States or in Canada. I don't live in UK. I don't live in Australia. I live in Central America, Panama. Panama does not sell Xbox games. None. The only thing I can buy from Xbox here are the gift cards, like $25 or whatever those things are. That's the only thing I can buy. So physical is not an option for me.
Oh, wow.
I could be the biggest Xbox fan, but I still can't buy a physical game unless I buy a game on Amazon or somewhere on the States, send it to my PO box in Miami, and send it back here, and we'll take max 2 weeks. I'm not going to wait 2 weeks for a game. So unfortunately, that's not my case. My case has to be full digital. And I wish I could buy all my games physical, because I still have a few physical games, like the ones that I really want. Like I have Halo Master Chief Collection, I have Quantum Break, I have Sunset Overdrive, which was my first Xbox One game. But I don't have that option no more. I can't go to a store because if I go to a regular retailer over here, which is SD Games or Trade and Play, the only thing I'll see there are Nintendo and PlayStation products. None of them are Xbox. So I unfortunately don't have that option. I do have to go full digital.
Right.
To me, it hurt a little bit because I'm like, God damn, I can't buy my physical games, whatever. But once I jumped to digital, I kind of like accepted it, and now I like it. Because it's not a hassle about changing the disc and here's and that. And I still respect your stance on this, Noof, because you're right. Sometimes when you're fixated on something or you like a certain way of your life, there's no meaning of or why you have to change it. If you like physical, I applaud that. I really like it. I wish I had that option, but I don't. So that's the difference in my case. In my case,
and I totally understand. I totally understand where you're coming from, and it totally makes sense for someone like yourself in what you just said. Let me just catch up with the super chats real quick, and I'm just going to say one more point, and then I'm just going to leave it as it says. Every time I get on Game Pass, it always turns into a whole a thing. But I mean, just catch up some super chats here. We got one coming in from Resident Link. He drops $4.99. Says, "What's going on, chat and panel? Hope everyone is doing well." Well, thank you, Resident Link. We hope you're doing well, and we appreciate that support. We got one coming in from the Doctor. We kind of knew the Doctor would be in the house. Hey, there's no anal in this one. MK movie coming soon. Panel, worst finishing move.
Oh God, I got one right off the bat.
That's a good. What's the worst finishing move?
Worst one by far. Sonya's Kiss of Death. What the fuck is that?
No,
that's
man.
horrible.
I think it's Liu Kang uppercut on the Super Nintendo.
Ooh,
it's just an uppercut.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Well,
too.
everything on Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, true. The no blood one. Like they literally kick you in the balls and you go, oh, then you fall over and die.
Yeah. You know, it'd be funny if Sonya put her hands down her pants, rubbed her old snatch, and then blew the kiss at you, and you just keeled over. That'd be funny.
Oh my
God! It might be in the movie.
What's that?
So that might be in the movie.
Oh God, yeah. Well, apparently the movie's a hard R rating.
What kind of movie is that? Mortal Cockbat?
Yeah. I'm surprised there hasn't been like a porno version. In fact, when I'm not talking to it, I'm going to look it up to see if there's a porn Mortal Kombat.
The guy will be dressed up like Scorpion. Instead of get over, he goes, "Come over here."
Yeah. Or Baraka's got, instead of those blades, he's just got big dildos on his arms. I don't know. It's something. But,
look up on YouTube. Look up on YouTube. Morty Combat, MORTY Combat. Trust me, and then get back to me. Trust me, you will. It is as close to what you're talking about as you might think.
That's fantastic.
Who else did I miss it? Iceman, he drops $4.99. Sorry, new for some money for Game Pass. Oh my God, Iceman, you're banned, you bastard.
Oh, Iceman.
Oh fuck.
Oh boy. By the way, shout out to Resident Link Gaming. By the way, we were playing Outriders this morning, so just wanted to say hello.
This is my last point here.
Yeah.
See, like, okay, here going into the stores now, right? One of the biggest disappointments I had before COVID was walking into this brand new Microsoft store that they put in the West Edmonton Mall here, and I loved the place. It was awesome. It was clean. It was classy. It was sleek. They used to have controllers and the chargers, and you had this big wall full of games, right? And I'm like, this store is the coolest shit ever. And I'm like, yeah, sure, they're promoting Game Pass and all that stuff. But guess what happened? As Game Pass started to gather steam, you know what happened? You couldn't buy a physical game in the store. All they had was some of the digital cards. And boy, was that a kick to the nuts for me. When I walked in there, I felt like, I want to burn this fucking place to the ground. Now they're closed up. Microsoft killed the stores. Okay, so that's done. And perhaps that's part of the sign of the times. And then the other thing, I'm going into my EB games now, and this is the one that's driving me nuts. Because PlayStation isn't all in with PlayStation now, at least yet, it's not that hard for me to walk into the store if I'm a PlayStation fan and pick up almost any game that comes out for PlayStation because they stock more copies. One, because, yes, the console sells a lot more, so there's more people with the console. But two, it's because it's not Game Pass this, Game Pass that, Game Pass something else constantly. So what happens? They don't stock much of the Xbox games in the store. A lot of times I struggle to get a brand new copy of a game. Why? Because they'll only bring in 2 or 3 because they know that 8 out of 10 guys are buying it through Game Pass or they're getting it on whatever, and it really fucks me over. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting screwed now for my choice because you guys like your choice. So I get it. I totally get it. But now I'm getting screwed over doubly, and it really pisses me off. It's like the stores are giving it to me now, and it's like I get it. It's sign of the times, and at some point I'll get there. And as I said on one of the I think it was Boom's podcast, in all likelihood I'll get Game Pass eventually because I think I won't have much choice, or two, I would like to play games online, and I think that's the attractive part for me is being able to take my Xbox games on the go through the cloud. That's going to be huge for me. I think that's something I'll look into, especially since Nintendo is not striking the portable fires for me these days. So yeah, that's. Yeah, like I said, the options are always there. You guys tell me that, but my options are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Do you guys see my point?
You're eventually going to have to start. You're going to have to be able to order games online now to be delivered to you because I don't think stores are going to carry them anymore. Because if people aren't purchasing them,
when are we getting to the point where they stop carrying consoles?
That's coming too.
After COVID, that might happen because half the retailers now don't stock any of the consoles.
Well, Amazon has taken over the world. Like, so people have gotten very complacent. Like, for example, I could buy a console when I'm at work. Like, I could be sitting on my break, and like that's what I did actually last week. I got the new Xbox headphones. By the way, they're magnificent. And I got the new Xbox headphones.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting on my break, and I'm like, let me just check. It was right there. Click. The next day, it was on my door. So when I came home from work, it was sitting right there. I didn't have to go to the store. I didn't have to do anything. So that is going to be the option. I mean, nobody wants to leave a PS6 on their fucking doorstep. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, it's an option if you're home or whatever, right? But, you know, anyways, I was just going to touch on one thing, Mike. You said about your friend there who said he's going to stop gaming and whatever. You know what? The milkman doesn't come around anymore. Did he stop drinking milk too? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, there are some things you won't be able to deal with. But yeah, and
he stopped watching movies. He stopped watching movies after VHS died.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So what does he do?
He stares at the wall.
It's for gaming. He just I don't
no for entertainment movies. What
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
It was
You know, Noof, there's one thing though. I was actually going to ask you about this, and I don't want to drag this out from here to eternity. But I've always wanted to know this.
No, just kidding.
The physical situation. Now that you can't play a physical game without being online or being downloaded onto your hard drive. Do you find that bothersome?
Yes.
Like, for example, if if the entire network goes down, you will not be able to turn on your Xbox and play one of those games.
Well, we're going to sort of get into that a little bit when we touch on the Outriders scenario, aren't we?
Fair enough.
So we're kind of leave it for there.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I get it too. And even that kind of bothers me that I buy these discs and basically the disc acts no more than just a license. Like,
that's
why
why
don't the games come on the damn disc? Why, like, there's some kind of data there. Otherwise, why would they sell it? But obviously, I think things install a bit faster if you're going from the disc and stuff like that, which would make sense. But outside of that, like, yeah, it's kind of like pointless. I almost get it. It's like, yeah, I've got this disc, but it really does nothing. And then with all this hard drive issues we're having these days with so many games taking memory, then why isn't a bulk portion of it on the disc? Or all of it on the disc. Most of these discs can accommodate some of these games, unless you're Call of Duty, and you pretty much got to go out and buy a NASA server to fucking fill the game. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't think it's a matter of for a lot of people, because I know there's a running bet like, is Noof ever gonna get Game Pass? I don't think it's a matter of if I'm gonna get it. I think it's kind of more of a matter of when. Right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I don't want to go on a rant all night. This is not really the topic. We're kind of totally on another thing here. But let's catch up with the chat, and then we're going to move it to the next topic, which is Outriders, and we'll talk about the online servers and how you guys feel about it, because it is becoming problematic. So let's catch up with the chat. We got Emmanuel A1, Axel 1324, T-Rock is in the house. What's happening, T-Rock? Sleepy Goblin is here. Nate is in the house. What's going on? We got Deck here as well with us. Darth Vicious, long time no see, Darth. Hope you're doing well, brother. Assassin Lupa, the one, the only Assassin Lupa's in the chat. Assassin, good to see you here. Great lady, good to have her back in the community gaming and all that stuff. She's such a blast to play community game nights with, man. She's always throwing some kind of a dig at you when she's playing. I love it. It's great. Matt RC, you know, she takes it in stride. Her and Cerebral Paul, man, they might get their butts kicked sometimes, but they always got a great dig at you, you know, and it's just hilarious. I love community game nights.
Lupa's my sister. That's my sister from across the pond.
I'm telling you, sister from another mister. She's great. Power Man, Isaiah, YouTube, what's going on? Slinky M, Spider-Man still hanging out with us. I think Titan's still dangling around here. Hey, your favorites in the chat there, Mag?
What? Who's there?
Joe.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice him. Joe Dunmore. Where the hell were you? Where were you for the first half hour of the show? My God, I thought that I was ready to quit the show entirely, just like the guy who's not going to play games anymore. I'm like, I'm not doing podcasts anymore. Joe Dunmore doesn't show up.
You literally just fell into an accent.
Oh my God, I know. I didn't even realize it. You see what happens? Joe Dunmore brings out the best or worst in me. One of the two.
Dropped into that. Like my mother from the Bronx. I am impressed.
Very nice.
By the way, shout out to
anyone watching. Because when he does Joe Dunmore, nobody says it like him. So,
on a completely separate note, I found MK porn on Pornhub right now.
Oh,
and
they have.
You ready for this? They've got an Oculus Quest 2. Guess what? Tomorrow morning, you're getting a workout. I just found Milena VR porn. I am in.
VR? Yep. Can you imagine
shit.
Goro in VR porn?
No, well,
Lord.
at least he could take care of 4 people at once.
Hit that like button.
Wow, he's every lady's dream. 4 giant hands. Look at that.
There, thank you for bringing it back to the right side, Noof.
Look at Titan Drago in the chat. What the fuck? Listen to him.
Fastback is hanging out with us. Infinite is here. Dreadpool, God bless him.
Hey.
Dreadpool's here. Dread's an awesome dude. Great supporter. Great people here, man. Good stuff. Wild Bates, what's happening? Wild Bates. Sig Larson, what's happening? Like a name named Sig. Just sounds.
Shout out to the 63 people watching, and please hit that like button, people.
Hit that like. Toolman.
That like.
Well, you know, it's going to be a good night now when Toolman shows up. Good shit, guys.
Oh, shit.
All right, let's get into the next topic. Then we'll have Ask Arnold. Outriders. Well, it's out now. Many of you guys have seen nothing but lots of love, more so than anything else. People are just playing this game like crazy, really enjoying it. Reviews have kind of been on the low side, but you'd never say that by the way the community's acting. I'm hearing just lots of love. People loving it, digging it, playing the hell out of it. I will start with Mag on this one first. And then we will talk just what's your reaction about the game? Like how are you enjoying it? What do you like? What do you dislike? And let's talk about the server aspect, because it's not just an Outriders thing. We're seeing a progressive trend in the industry with all these has to be online game. And people bring up great points. If you lose your internet or whatever, or you're having troubles, the games are useless. You can't even go offline and play them yourself majority of the time. So is this something that the industry is getting a little too wrapped up in, as games that are always active because they need your statistics or whatever the fuck they're doing? Like, why are they so focus on having everything is online? Like, you should be able to play it online if you want, and play it offline and enjoy the hell out of it too. Why is that? So maybe you guys can answer that. We'll start with Mag on this one.
Yes. Well, the thing is, I actually do find it to be a little bit disturbing that there isn't an option to be able to play some of these games offline. You know what I mean? Or like, for example, even when I'm playing solo, like, for example, I'll get into the Outriders, my personal views on Outriders in a second, but I want to address what Noof asked there. I understand what they're doing. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they're basically working as no matter, I don't give a shit what anybody calls this. Basically, it's eventually going to become a games as a service. You're looking at like your Destinies, your Avengers, no matter how good or bad it is. And, on top of that, and then of course you got the Outriders thing, and they're trying to get the community together, because the more the community can come together, you're going to get more engagement in your game. That's what they want. They want to build up an audience, build up a crowd. And then they're going to start dropping DLC. They're going to start dropping cosmetics, this and that, whatever, right? We know the route that they're going. However, it is a little bit alarming that some of these games will only operate if the network is up and running. If it's not up and running, like I was actually alluding to about 5 minutes ago when I asked Noof about that, is that you're shit out of luck. You're not going to be able to play the game at all. And that is absolutely ludicrous to me, that there's no offline mode in some of these games, right? That you can't just go in there and play the game. And it seems to me kind of silly. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, that's what I want to say there. But as for Outriders, I'm actually really enjoying it. One little thing I want to say, though, and this is just a question. It's a rhetorical question. You don't actually have to answer it. Just think about it. Would this game be as popular or be talked about if it was a full price game, or the fact that people are getting it in Game Pass? So that's another thing, because that's what I think when I sit down to play this game. And I'm like, this is a really great game. I'm having a lot of good times. I'm having good times. But would I pay $80 for it? Right? That's the other thing that I think about. And I'm like, as it stands, I probably would have got it at a discount. I'd be like, yeah, I would have waited for a sale and I would have purchased the game at that point. But for $80, no, it's got to be a knockout of the park, man. You got to knock it out of the park for it to be an $80 game for me. $80 Canadian, by the way, folks. We're not talking American prices here. So, anyways, as for the game itself, really enjoying it, having a lot of fun. I've been playing with Resident Link. I've been playing with Percolator 9000, who's also hanging around somewhere, listening to the show tonight. And we had a great time. I've been really enjoying it. Now, the thing is, I've said this before, it's basically like a mix between The Division, Destiny, and Gears of War. And there's a lot of things it does really well. The movement is excellent, very fluid, fast. The gunplay is good. I like that. The sound design is absolutely top notch. The sound design is excellent. The music, the sound effects, ambient effects, all that kind of stuff are really, really good. I have a couple of gripes, though. The gripes are when you're playing with somebody else and you go to those other sections, they say, oh, it balances. It doesn't really balance all that much because like Resident Link he was like 2 hours behind me in the story, right? So he wasn't as progressed as I was. So it's not like The Division where everything's just sort of levels out and you get to loot gear that's up to your level. But the enemies were wiping him out in like 4 seconds flat. So like he would stick his head out from cover and dead. And I'm like, well, what's the point? You know what I mean? So what we ended up having to do is I had to stop playing my game, cancel that, and then go play his game. And then, you know what I'm saying? So like we weren't able to like just jump in and jump out anywhere because it was causing issues because all of a sudden I was too OP or he was too underpowered. Right. And it was, that was something that we did notice. Another thing is, why are the enemies so fucking accurate? These guys can throw a grenade from 2 kilometers away and they can land it right on my fucking head every single time without fail. And another thing, they do not miss a single shot with the bullets. So it is a little annoying that the minute you stick your head out to shoot. What's that?
The snipers, man, god damn.
They are like that. That is one thing that's kind of bothering me a little bit. It takes me out a little bit where I'm like, I'm in cover. And I know I'm waiting for somebody to chat, be like, good. I am good. I am good. And let me tell you something. The minute you stick your head out of cover, your 3/4 of your health is gone because there's like 30 people all shooting at you, right? And you have to obviously come up to shoot, right? And that's another thing that pisses me off is when you use your powers. Like, for example, I'm pyromancer, right? So I like shoot the fire and all that shit. Well, in order to shoot that fire, you need to stand up. Right. So if you've got 30 guys shooting at you at the same time, and then all of a sudden you stand up and do a pyromancer move, 3/4 of your health is gone. And and then the point is that at that point, you're going to have to kill somebody with your power moves in order to get that health back. There's no health packs on the ground or anything like that. So the little things like that you have to do. Those are just like minor grievances. Other than that, I do enjoy that it's actually pretty linear. I mean, you guys know, some of you guys know, I'm a huge open world nut. Okay. I love playing open world games. But when it comes to shooters and stuff like that, keep it focused. I don't mind keeping it focused. I don't want to like wander off into the fucking woods for 20 minutes to go find a collectible. And all of a sudden I'm like, where am I? And then all of a sudden you don't even know where the hell you've gone to. They keep it pretty tight and they keep it pretty focused. So I do enjoy that. And it moves it forward. Playing with 3 people, absolutely magnificent. A lot of fun there. And it's really fun to actually be able to utilize the different powers with each other. Like, for example, Percolator and Resident Link there, they would use that trickster thing where they shoot like this big bubble and everybody slows down. And then as soon as everybody slows down, I run in and fire the pyromancer wall of fire at them and everybody catches fire and dies. And that's where it works. So then that got me thinking, did they build this game almost to make it more beneficial to play with other people as opposed to playing solo? Because playing solo is a ball buster, let me tell you, at least from my perspective anyway. But like playing with other people, it's a hell of a lot simpler in my eyes. I mean, this is just my opinion, So I think that they actually kind of geared it towards, they wanted more people to be playing multiplayer or whatever else, which of course begs the question, like, you saw what happened the first 3 days. I mean, did anybody find this a surprise that the servers were going to crash in the first 2 days. What Call of Duty, what Battlefield, what Titanfall, what any whatever, Apex Legends, whatever first-person shooter, any shooter out there has not crashed in the first 2 days. Guys, come on. It's been happening for 20 years.
Especially when it's in the service that 18 million people have access to.
Exactly, right? You know they're gonna crash. So like I just played as solo as I could for the first little while, then I left it alone because I'm also in the middle of Immortals Phoenix Rising, right? So I kind of was waiting for a couple days, maybe a week, whatever, to get their service under control. Then I played today and that was no problem. And everything is working just fine. So
I won't have much to say on it because I didn't play the game. I played the demo and I did enjoy it for the most part, but obviously I don't have Game Pass and I didn't buy a copy of it physically because for me, it's not a game that I would pay the $80 Canadian to buy. So I'll just wait for a bargain bin and who knows, maybe I won't get it at all because by the time I buy it in the bargain bin, you guys will be done with it and I'll be playing with randoms. And that's another reason I can't stand games like this. Because playing with randoms really pisses me off.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it we're in an age of microphones and stuff, and it seems like 85% of the time I play any game with randoms, nobody has a mic, and it really drives me nuts. And the one time I find a guy with a mic, it's one of them freaking dickheads. Hey, fucking yoga, man. Like, get in, you fucking Fruit Loop. They'll say some kind of crap like that. You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh,
wow.
my God, right?
Or else the guy's blasting Drake in the background.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, guys, take cover over there. And all you can hear is, you used to call me, I'm a saffron. And like, that's all you hear in the background. And he's like eating Cheetos. And I'm like, dude, take cover. And it's like, this guy's not listening.
Yeah. The one guy, right? And so that's part of it. That drives me nuts. It's like, man, if I can't get good people to play with, I just as soon as not play it at all. Because a lot of these games rely on teamwork. You know what I mean? Like Sea of Thieves, man, that's one game I refuse. If I can't find people with a mic, fuck it, I ain't playing with you, man, because people don't know how to play that game as it is, and you get on a friggin' ship and they're just walking around like a bunch of morons, and you're like, dude, like, pull the fucking sail down, man, like, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, never mind. But anyway, going off on tangent and rant, I never play, so I won't say much on it. We're gonna get two guests to chime in here as soon as I just acknowledge some people in the chat, because we got the lovely Caitlin is here with Caitlin is hanging out with us. I'm surprised Mav is not popping by here. But speaking of Papa, we got Papa Woody in here.
Mav might be streaming.
He might very well be. That is not impossible. Ace Junkie is here with us. What's going on, Ace? Glad to see you here. Craig Simmons, my good brother. What's happening, bro? How you doing? Got to get him back in the show too. Craig's a good laugh, man. Oh my God, playing Craig with Gears when he got a few drinks in. It's funny as fuck. Good stuff. And 8 is here. Sathius, Sleepy Goblin. We got some new people in here too. Did I miss up here earlier here? Joe Dunmore Deck is still here. Toolman. I think I'm pretty much caught up with everybody. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Death the Kid X, welcome to the show. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the likes. All that good stuff. Hey, we're at 46 likes and no down thumbs. We're doing good tonight. Must be the Titan Drago effect here. No down thumbs.
Oh wait, they haven't.
He's gonna hit the down thumb right now. Watch.
They haven't figured out I'm here yet.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, let them know you're here, and you can chime in on Outriders.
All right, so I played the demo. I have Game Pass. I've been through the prologue. I picked my character. I decided to be a trickster, and I was all set to go play. Play with my NLG boys, but they decided to go off and play on their own. So I'm falling way behind, and so. They actually decided to go get Back from the Dead to pick up the slack for me. So I don't know. At some point, part of the problem is you go to play it and you can't. So by the time I am ready to play it, it's 11:30 at night and everybody else is going to bed. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to actually do anything co-op with anybody. But I don't know. It's a neat cover shooter, and I do like third person cover shooters. I'm a big Gears fan, and this kind of does homage to that a little bit. I go back to old cover shooters like Kill Switch and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of some of that in there. I don't know that it's a game revolutionary, mind blowing. There's no way I would have paid $70 for it. Not a chance. So, getting it in Game Pass, at least to get a chance to try it. Am I like chomping at the bit to like, hey, let's end this podcast early so I can go play Outriders? No. Am I going to play it? Yes. And since Sister Lupa hasn't started it yet either, and she's up till all hours. So, I think I have a person to get me a little farther in it. Is it me though, or just listening to some people going, I can't find a legendary. I can't find this. Is this game also like Destiny and I just don't know that?
A little bit, yes.
It's a little bit. It's like a Destiny light. Like it's basically like they'd have the different the different color codes for all the different gear and stuff like that and weapons. So you have your common, you have your blue is your rare, your purple is epic, gold is whatever the hell legendary. Yeah, they have all that stuff, but the thing is, you don't have to play this friggin' thing like it's your goddamn job, like Destiny,
Correct.
and all of a sudden they leave you behind. Right, you could jump in and jump out. However, what like I was saying earlier, my little thing is that I'm having a problem with the leveling up. Right, like I said, Resident Link jumped into my game, and he was dead in a matter of seconds, because it doesn't balance out. Like in the Division, where you can do that, and the Division just kind of balances you out. Doesn't matter what level you are on. The only difference is that the loot you pick up is adjacent to what your level is. Right, that's all I'm saying.
We got a super chat coming in here real quick, and it comes in from King Ram. It drops $1.99. He says, I'm going to have to read this one in Cletus. Well, he fiddly diddly. Looter shooters that get bothered real quick. Yes, they do real quick indeed there, King Ram. I don't loot and shoot anything unless it be chickens. Yep, that's what we do around here. But anyway, thanks for the super chat. I'm sure that $1.99 Newford's he's collecting it all up for that Game Pass, you know what I'm saying? Because he's been taking it in the ass from everybody telling him to get Game Pass. So eventually, Noof, he gonna have a get Game Pass. Let me tell you that he gonna have to. There's no other way around it. That Noof Nukem, I'm telling you, boy, he's a bit stupid. I think he's a little slow. That's what happened to him. He dropped on his head when he was a kid. I think that's what happened there. He rolled down a couple of stairs, knocked something fucking loose. Let me tell you. So Noof Nukem, get with the goddamn program. The train is fucking leaving the station, and horses, they went out with the buggies years ago. Only people got horses now is fucking is either farmers or fucking weirdos. It's one of the two. See, that's all I got it now. There you go. There's Cletus. All right. You got your answer there. All right. Cletus in the house. Oh, my God. Anyway, go ahead there, Phantom Kraken.
Well, so far I've been loving the game. I mean, like Mag said, it's not a game that, takes a lot of time of your life. You don't need to be 24/7 at this and feel left behind with your whole bunch of friends just up, leveling up. And you're like, God damn, I can't get that far. But so far, I'm loving it. I haven't played with other people so far because of scheduling and servers went down. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play this alone. I haven't had any hard trouble with the game because I know everybody's saying like it's a little bit like Gears and things like that. So I tried to play it like Gears and it didn't work out for me. I just got killed quick. So I'm like, you know what? If this game actually makes you get health by killing people, why am I covering? I should go straight Rambo and shoot people in the face. And that's exactly what I did. I'm a trickster. So I just go at everybody. I don't cover for nothing. I just run all over around the place, kill everybody, and I haven't had any trouble. Maybe I'm good at it. I don't know. I'm in the max tier of the difficulty at the game right now. And so far I haven't had any trouble with it. So my recommendation is don't play like Gears. Just go straight and kill people.
See, that was
because if you stay down and
No, I was just going to say that was my instinct was to do the Gears thing because of the cover system.
At the beginning, I was like, yeah, this feels like Gears. But when you have over 100,000 bullets at you, you're like, I can't play like Gears at all. And these motherfuckers flank you quick. So I'm like, no, hell no. I got to go around them, shoot them, and do whatever I have to do. Maybe Trickster is easier against the Pyromancer. I don't know. Because on a Trickster, you can use like teleport behind the enemies. And once you do like a little slash and everybody evaporates into dust, you get your health back. Maybe it's easier, but I don't know. But I just changed the way I was playing the game. Regarding always online, it is the most stupidest thing ever. Like when you have kids and you hear one screaming, the first thing you're playing again, you press pause and you run. I just press instantly pause, and I just run. And what happened? What she was because she just screamed. I'm like, what happened? Some roach, whatever. When I came back, I died against the fucking spider. Like I pressed pause in this game, and then I realized there's no fucking pause in the game. I'm playing alone.
Yep.
Why the fuck is this has to be online?
Yep.
It's retarded.
Yeah. Happened to me today. I had to go take a piss. And I paused because that's your instinct, right? You pause and you go off, you go take a piss, wash your hands. No pause. I was dead. And then all of a sudden I had to start the whole goddamn level over again because it pushed me.
Are horrible.
Yeah, and it pushed me all the way back to like a checkpoint that was like 10 minutes before, if not longer.
Oh, see, shit. That bothers me more than anything.
So I was actually pretty pissed about that. Like I was just like, what do I have to live here? Like I have to you have to finish the level. Like, make sure you go to the bathroom and all that stuff first because you can't pause even in Soul, just like Phantom was saying. Sorry, Phantom, go ahead, brother.
No, that's fine. But there's no pause button. The only thing, the map, when you're trying to find a place, there's no marker on where you are in the map. It's like, where am I? Do I go left or right? What do I do? So that's the other thing that bothers me. Servers, I only got kicked out once, day one. And that's it. Every time I just go in and I play smoothly. But just keep in mind, I haven't played with anybody. I'm playing by myself. So I'm loving the game. The always online is stupid. It should have an offline. It should have a offline mode. It should have a pause button. And I recommend don't play like Gears. Just go straight Rambo. And that's pretty much.
Okay.
Good. I'm going to try that tomorrow.
Nice. I'm not sure if I asked you, but how do you feel about the server part of things? Is the whole, attached to the online? Because,
I don't like it.
We said earlier, like we were saying earlier too, like we were talking about game preservation. We see this a lot now where, the companies are talking about back compatibility and bringing over your games. But how can you technically bring over your games when these games are linked to some sort of a server or tie-in? And if the servers die or they're dead and the game can't get access, the game is done. The game is toast, and I'll give, Call of Duty takes a lot of shit from a lot of people. I'll give it that. But you know what? At least I'll give Activision one bit of credit. You can go back and still play Call of Duty 2 from 2005 and find people playing it. They never shut down shit on their servers. But every other company is a cop-out. As soon as the numbers dip, they just get rid of it. Well, it's terrible. Like in some of these games, like even if the multiplayer is not, if you can't log into something, you can't even sign in. The game is it's done. So how do you bring that over? Do you just forget about that part of history? You forget about those games ever existed? It's an unfortunate part of the business. It's like
it is.
I don't know why they do it. It's let's say some games, Titanfall 1. Does that shit still exist? And in 10 years, who's gonna play Titanfall 1? And you have the game, you can't even just go back to memory lane and play with your friends. You can't do that. Server's dead. So there's so many games like that. I don't know why there's no more offline mode. And you can say that, but what about games what if that happened with Halo? Can you imagine how upset we'd be to say that all of a sudden Halo 1 and 2 basically don't exist because you need to be able to log into the freaking game? It's stupid. I don't like it. That's one of the parts of digital gaming and online only, which is it's just an unfortunate part of the business. Yeah. And go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish.
Go ahead, bro.
I think I lost my train of thought.
Oh, but no, shit, I'm sorry. Jesus.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just don't like it. It sucks. I just put it this way. It just fucking sucks, man. Mm-hmm. That's it.
People today are still going back and doing OG Xbox Halo, with a System Link. I mean, they're still going back and making those games work. I actually know people who are still going back and making Dreamcast online games work.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Fantasy Online.
Stuff, yes. So I mean, that stuff, I get it. And look at what's happening with Sony Store, shutting down PS3, PS Vita. The Vita thing, that surprised me more than anything. I can kind of understand not being able to buy a PSP game online because I don't even think I could, but over the PSP Go. But shutting down Vita, there's people still developing Vita games, and now they won't have a place to sell them. There is a fine line between who, and it comes down to who do you trust to keep that stuff open.
I hate to sound
You
like
know.
a shill, but I trust Microsoft
I
because
Yeah, you can
Phil
look what they're
has
doing with
openly
backwards
said,
compatibility.
You can't. You can't do
you know
that
what though? He's
anymore.
openly said that he has a strong a strong vision of the future has a lot to do with legacy, and he says that he wants to keep those games going and he likes to keep the legacy. He's used that word a million times, and he's going to keep using them. Just like we were just talking about with Halo. Halo was 20 years old, and you could still play Halo online.
Yeah, but you can count on Microsoft to preserve their legacy on their games, but you can't ask the same thing for a third party to preserve their games.
Oh no, absolutely not. I'm just saying,
that's
but
a
he's
big
asking,
problem because if a game has a single player component, why not have an offline mode? I mean, Outriders. Outriders, you can play by yourself. I don't see why you need to be online all the time on that game at all.
Mm.
Unless you're gonna if you're playing by yourself and some other friend of yours wants to jump in and then the online just activates, I get that part. But if you're playing by yourself, why do I need to be online all the time? That's just ridiculous to me. And there's a whole lot of games like that.
A lot of this stuff for the companies is ultimately a lot of it because a lot of these games have the online. What's the first thing you do when you sign into a game? Create an account, sign up for something, scroll down through a freaking lawyer's list of details, which most of us have probably been 98% of us never read. And really, if you do look at it, all it is, you accept the right to take the blame for this game. If this game shuts down, you accept that this game shuts down. Privacy rights. We agree to take data, share it with users. That's how all this crap is a big old Facebook data mining and sharing crap, which is more than anything because they want to know, how long you're online, what console you're playing on, what's your target demographic, all this crap because they're sharing it with advertisers and shit. That's what half of this stuff is, ultimately, more than anything else. And just to basically waive rights, they're not responsible if, you have a seizure playing their game, they're not responsible. If you fucking don't like their game, they're not responsible. They shut it down, they're not responsible. That's all this crap is at the end of the day for most of it. It's just stupid.
Well, it's the license. It's funny because when the Xbox One first came out and we were arguing the whole DRM, I kept telling people, go look at the disc, go look at your book, go look at your manual with your physical copy. You don't own that either, even if you think you do.
That's right.
And at any point in time, Microsoft can shut that shit down. And that's part of what for better or for worse, that's part of what that system does. But that's why I said it comes down to who do you trust. And, Phil Spencer could exit the company tomorrow and another guy could take over who's got a whole different philosophy, which is what's happening. And I'm not trying to bag on them. I'm really not. But that's what's happening at Sony right now. Yeah. All the leadership of Sony left that had the vision that Sony has been known for. And Jim Ryan has taken a lot of that and threw dynamite under it because he's got his own vision of what and so Phil, when he came in and took over for Don Matrick gets a lot of hate because Phil's vision is more in line with what gamers wanted. Although those same people tend to forget that Don Matrick was really involved in the heyday of the 360. But Phil comes in and he redoes everything. He gets rid of stuff. He remolds. And so he's into the game preservation. He's into that, which he had to sell. If he left next year and a guy comes in that is not into that, you could see a seismic shift that's going to piss a lot of people off.
The side effect of all of this is console hacking and game piracy. That's the side effect of all this. And what do you think is going to happen to the Vita? Everybody's going to read down.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, the Vita right now. I know a lot of people are like, I'm going to try to get a Vita and pirate every single game they have because there's going to be no way to get those games anymore. Or what? 2,200 games are going to disappear. So there's no other way than pirating, and which just sucks. But at the same time, what's the other option? There's none. So that's an interesting side effect of this too.
I bet you the sales went through the roof in the last week or two for Vita games. Anybody who still had one's just trying to snag everything they can, So upside to a downside, I suppose. But at the end of the day, it's still you're getting rid of them unless they're planning to bring them back through another, like I said, a legacy department. And maybe that's something people do look at down the road is having legacy titles, somewhere to launch down the road. We all know that Nintendo does it. Just Nintendo brings them back when you're thinking they're done with them, and then tries to charge you full price for it all over again.
Right.
That's what Nintendo does. You
there
own this once? Too bad. We'll charge you $80 again.
There is a reason that I have kept a lot of my retro gaming collection, and why part of, and a bigger part now than even 10 years ago, of my gaming purchasing and my gaming, even my day-to-day gaming, is retro stuff. I could still walk over to my shelf, grab a Saturn game, throw it into my Saturn, turn it on, and play. I could do that with, I could do that with my OG Xbox. I can do that to an extent. Actually, I could do that with the 360. My 360 was not connected in the room that was in for a long time because they didn't have a way to connect it. So those, I'm getting to where I'm recollecting and keeping a lot of that older stuff for when Armageddon happens with digital.
Absolutely. Well, we got a topic coming up a little bit later on, so we can talk about some of that. Let's catch up with the super chats. We got our good friend Psychonauts, who is in the chat with us. Thanks for being here, Psychonauts. And he drops $2, says, shout out to everyone on the panel and in the chat. Well, thank you for that. And yes, we have an amazing chat going on tonight. Even Titan Drago is still hanging out with us here. That's awesome. So there you go. What is the YouTube Police Pro Xbox? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know anything about the YouTube Police. But anyway, welcome to the show, YouTube Police. Don't get us in any trouble now. We're trying our best. Now it's time. We're already past the halfway point, so it's time to get into Ask Arnold's. Now it is time for the panel, our guests, and for the chat to ask a couple of questions. We'll do 3 or 4, and I'll try to make this quick. Like I said, this time is running. So let's get into it here. So who's got a question for Arnold? The doctor's already like, Arnold, let's go.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Hey Arnold, if hookers had a subscription like Game Pass, would you subscribe?
Oh my God, it would be the best thing ever. Business would go right through the roof. I would call it Game Ass. That's what they would call it. Because I got game and I'm getting the ass. I mean, my God, could you imagine for like $13 a month, you get as much ass as you could ever want? I mean, my God, I'd be sick of it. I would, after a while, I'd just be worn out that there's not enough Viagra in the world to keep it up with all of the ladies. But that would be great. Could you imagine you had this online server and you could just get what you wanted and they'd come over to your house? It'd be like skip the dishes. Instead, you're getting some JJ on your dishes. That's what you're doing there. It'd be great. Oh my God, man, it would be amazing. Come on, let's get out there. Let's get Elon Musk on board. He can start it up. He's got money to burn.
Arnold, I have a quick question. I saw that Noof Nukem was talking about we need a new Rambo game. What do you think about that?
Rambo's a pussy. We just need more Terminator game. Okay, this is what we need here. You know, I don't want the Rambo game. Why not Commando? Commando was amazing. It should have had sequels. Don't you guys agree? I mean, it was great. I mean, Rambo never had scenes like I did, where I hit that guy on the plane and put him, the elbow in his face and knock him out. And it's like, don't bother him. He's just sleeping. He's dead tired. He's dead tired. And then it was a Sully and I'm holding him up by the foot, Remember Sully when I said, to kill you last? I lied. And he's down, you know what I mean? It'd be great. We need more Commando, not Rambo. Let's do it. Come on, somebody make a game that's made for you. Just no looter shooter crap. I mean, what's going to happen? You have a Commando game, and then you're trying to sell me camouflage to stick on my biceps. I don't want I don't want pink weapons, and I don't want unicorn fart-shaping guns. Come on, do it. It's not that.
Oh, wow. I got Titan Drago in the chat.
Yeah.
Titan Drago's got a question for you, Arnold.
All
Hey,
right.
Arnie, aren't you impressed that at Mag's age he could still press the right trigger? Fuck you, Titan.
Oh shit!
I know, seriously, the guy with a shiny head like that is amazing. He does anything. I swear to God. Now, Mag is amazing, Titan. What's wrong with you? Mag's a real man. He showed up tonight. You're over there smelling your pussy. So you get back in the chat and keep your ass quiet.
Oh, you gotta, Noof, you gotta sing. You got a super chat from King Ram. It's a great name, by the way. Super chat $1.99 from King Ram. He says, "Hey Arnold, do your giblets touch the water?"
I never heard of the called a giblet before, but yes, everything in me touches the water. I sit in my bathtub and I get the big bubble bath out, and I sit there the whole time, and I think about what the next movie is going to be. It's probably my next one to be called Kindergarten Flop. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know, I'd like to go back. I should do a sequel to that movie just so I can go back and yell at all of the kids. You know, because with the way the world is now, I'd be doing a lot of yelling. But of course, if I yelled at the kids, I would get chastised and I'd get put in the corner. And they'd tell me, Arnold, you can't say this and you can't say that. And you can't say you'll get back because then you're not talking about the front. You know what I'm saying? This world is so screwed up now. I don't even know what to say anymore. You can't be a man. You can't be a woman. You can't be politically correct. You can't do anything. Like, I swear to God, you just got to shut up and live in an igloo somewhere. Oh, that's probably not even correct anymore.
I caught a hint of a Jewish accent from Arnold just then.
Oh man, acidic Jew.
Which is amazing. Yes, I got a little acidic. I got a little verklempt here.
Assassin Lupa. We'll take a last one from Lupa here. We got Jesse. He's been trying to get some questions in. Hey, Arnold, when is Terminator 55 coming out?
Oh my God.
Jesse, I'm going to tell you this. It'll be coming out when you're old and gray and your ball sack is drooping, but my ball sack will never be drooping. It'll come out there. You know what, Jesse? I'll come in. And I'll come in and I'll sign an autograph on your forehead when you're in the old person's home, because I'll still be kicking and ticking and licking, and you'll be sitting there going, when is the next sequel? You sit down and you shut up.
And last one we got Arnold. What do you want in a woman?
You know, and usually what I want in a woman, voluptuous, smart, sexy, but she shuts up. She just knows when to stop talking. Why did they never stop talking? It doesn't matter what you guys know this because, you know, Nukem tells me all about it. You know how you can be sitting around the house all day, you're doing nothing, and they won't bother you. They won't ask you to do anything, and you're just like, you want to hang out? No, I'm good. But the moment you go down and you hit the Xbox button and she hears that, doot, then all of a sudden, it's like, I thought you were going to hang out with me. Come on, spend time with me. What's going on? And you're like, I'm just playing some Xbox. And then it's just like all hell's breaking loose. Like, what the fuck? Do they have some kind of Xbox radar? They know when it's on that they get out of the fucking Xbox, get up in the room and spend some time with me. And just like, I want to smack you right now. Get the fuck out of here. I asked you earlier, you want to spend time? No, I'm good. But now that when you're on the Xbox, they always want to hang out with you. What the fuck?
You know, Noof, you got to take one more, buddy. It's a super chat. Did you see it? It's DJ Berto Dos, or Doss, maybe. It drops $2 in the super chat, and he asks, Arnold, do you like them skinny, fluffy, or massive?
I like them however I can get them. At my age, you take what you get. Now, the skinny ones are great because you can bounce them around. The fluffy ones are soft and cuddly. And the big ones make you work for it. You really got to roll them in flour, and then you get down to the fun spot. Once you do, though, it's worth all the money in the world. It makes you work for it. You'll be sweating bullets, but you will love it.
There you go.
Man,
all right.
Very nice. Yay.
That's it. Yay.
All right.
Wait a minute. I didn't get to ask my question.
Go ahead. We'll take one more.
So Arnold, if you wanted to be a character in Outriders, what would you be?
I would have to be the Devastator. Because I'm just going to walk in there with the biggest guns, just the guns are blazing and they're just blowing people's heads off. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be the trickster. I don't want to be like sweeping around the map. I don't want to be anything like that. I got to be like the Terminator. You just walk in there, you point the gun, you click, you shoot, you take some bullets, you shoot some more, you knock one down, you get some, you knock them over, and you keep going, and you give the big finger to them all, and you say, screw you, asshole.
There you go,
man.
Outstanding.
Oh, shit. All right. Let's move right along into the next topic at 9:25. Well, that was Arnold. Boy, he was on point and very specific tonight, wasn't he? Jesus.
He left in a hurry, too.
Oh, man, he left in a hurry. I'm telling you, his limo was ready to roll. All right. So this one's a big shout out and a big, well, homage to anyone who's ever gone through difficulties in their life and who've seen the way that they play games altered or in some cases taken from them. So this next segment is a big shout out to anyone who struggles with mental or physical restraints and disabilities, if you want to call it that. Who try to play games, who have to play games differently than the rest of us. Our good friend here, Cerebral Paul, like he points out to people, his name is Cerebral Paul because he suffers from cerebral palsy. A lot of people don't know that, but Paul's a great guy. He comes out to the community game nights. Just a great dude in general, man. He's a lot of fun too. He's a funny guy. He's been around the game stuff. But this shout out specifically to a good friend of mine who's been in the podcast game for a while. He's hilariously funny. A lot of people love him. He's just a down-to-earth guy. And that's UK Dazarus. Many of you guys know UK Daz. And Daz, up until his stroke I guess it's been over a year now. But, I mean, Daz was on fire. The dude has lost, his account. He came back. He started up another new one or something, I think it was. And, man, he was piling up gamer score like it was no tomorrow. Like, as a whole, he is on a tear. Every month I checked in, dude was, top of the gamer score, right? Great at racing games, good at the fighters, all of that stuff. But Daz had a stroke. And he's been struggling to get back with it. He's been posting some of his progress on Twitter. He's lifting barbells. He's doing stuff to try to get back out there. But obviously it's changed the way he games, the kind of games that he used to enjoy. He can't enjoy them the way he used to. So shout out to him. So my question to you guys too is, as well as just, and I guess this is kind of like, if you knew tomorrow, you guys, and this is just a theoretical topic as well, but if you knew tomorrow you had 1 week to live, 1 week only, and you had to get in some gaming time. I know there's bigger and better things most of us would probably be doing outside of gaming, I'm sure. But theoretically, if you were just locked in a room, that's all you could do. What 3 games would you guys want to settle in with before you bit the bullet? I know this is a dark, kind of weird topic, but we're just kind of going off the rails with this one tonight. And same thing with the panel, man. So go for it. Who wants to take this one first?
Can I take this?
Go right ahead, man. Have it.
I know. Maybe many of you know. Maybe many doesn't know. On February 6th, I was hospitalized because of COVID, and I was induced in coma for a week. When I woke up, I lost my motor skills. I didn't have my use of my legs and part of my use of my arms. So when I saw this question, and plus I follow forgot his name. Oh my God, I'm a bad person now. UK, yeah. I understand where he's going from. He had it worse than me. Let's go that straight. Mm-hmm. He's still dealing with the stroke, but I understand where he's coming from and how does it feel, because when I woke up, I couldn't move not much of my wrist. It was really bad. Mm-hmm. But anyway, if I only had 1 week before what I went through, I would choose Zelda, A Link to the Past from Super Nintendo.
Nice. Okay. Old school.
I would choose Halo 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a weird one, but if I know I'm going to kick the bucket, I might want to laugh. So I'll choose Conker's Bad Fur Day. That'll be my last.
Nice.
Nice. I like it. That's a great way to finish. Nice. Sorry to hear about that, man. I'm pretty sure at the time I probably knew about it, but just kind of slipped my mind. So how are you doing now?
I just finished physical therapy. Yeah, I finished physical therapy. I can do all my shit now by myself. I can walk. I don't have 100% of my strength back, but you know what? I'm alive, thank God. But that's not the point right now. It's all about gaming. It's not thinking about the sad part. I'm rooting for UK over there. Keep it strong, brother. I know you'll go through this, so you get through this. So, blessings to you, my brother. But those are my 3 games.
Great. Well, like I said, there you go. See, you learn something about people during shows like this and through the chat, man. And that's awesome. Like I said, we're glad to know that you're doing well. And it's scary. I think at some point in our lives, a lot of us either have an issue similar to what you said you went through. Some people much worse off. And I think a lot of times we take our gaming for granted. We sit here, like I said, and we argue about silly stuff and we talk about, a lot of things. And then you put life in perspective. And I think COVID-19 and this last year has certainly put a lot of stuff in my mirror, so to speak, and take a look back. So let's go with Mike. Mike, how about you, man? Have you ever had a struggle with a point, perhaps in your life, much like Phantom, where perhaps gaming wasn't accessible to you, or and if not, just go ahead and answer the other part of the question.
Yeah, I have to say, thank Hashem, no. I have not. I've not had that issue, and Phantom, man, it's great to hear that you're recovering and you're working your way back to full health, and man, that's got to be tough, and I don't envy anybody who's been going through that, who has gone through that. I've got all the respect in the world for Daz and what he's been doing, because he's also, one of the things I like about him is he said, F it, that's not going to stop me. And, he's at it. He's streaming, he's playing, he's gaming. And Paul, it's funny you mentioned Paul. Paul's actually going to be on with us Thursday, and we're going to get to know him a little better Thursday and get a kind of a better sense of, I want him to tell that story and his gaming experience so that people can understand what it's like, because I don't have that frame of reference. I just simply don't. But to answer the question itself, I had been thinking about this since you put this topic in, and it's been difficult because I'd have to say one of them is NFL 2K2, the Dreamcast version.
Dreamcast one, yes.
Yep. Another would be also from that console, Sonic Adventure.
One or two.
I could go either way. I really like them both. 2 is a little bit better, but 1 has some nostalgia to it that I love. The third one would have to be Virtua Fighter 2 on the Saturn.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Nice. Great choices. I like how you guys got a little retro stuff going on in there. It's good stuff. Good stuff, man. All right. Like I said, I know it's a little bit deep. Like, it's hard to think about that stuff, but I thought it was an interesting little topic, and I think we got a lot of people in the chat too are throwing out there. So let's catch up with some of those here before we head over to Mag. Titan Drago, I think he's saying Smite. Everybody's giving him grief.
Yeah, if I know I'm gonna die, please, I'm gonna choose Smite. No, Smite now. I'm
Jesse
gonna die,
Darby,
brother, not Smite.
Jesse says Castlevania, Gears of War, and God of War.
Castlevania.
Lupus is Zelda, Fable, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Emmanuel 1, Lost Odyssey, Ori 2, Lonely Mountains Downhill, whatever the heck that is. Sounds like a titty game, but I'm not sure.
Points for Lost Odyssey, though.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Great suggestions. Iceman, Streets of Rage 2. He's going old school, and Resident Evil 2. I'm assuming like Resident Evil 2 is in the new one or the original. Hard to say. He's probably speaking of the new one. I'd rather play the new one, but that's just me. Fun Speculation is finally in the house. What's going on, Mav? How you doing, man? Good to see you here. ACS Husk is in that chat, and I'm sure he's got a beer in his hand as he types this. Get to your mom, please. I owe her for a handy.
Oh my god!
All right, we'll send that to the mother right away. All right, $2. All right, Mac. How about you, man? I'm
yes.
To what selections you would have? Has anything ever kept you down from gaming? Ever went through a spot where you just didn't play games for whatever reason, health or other reasons?
Not for health reasons. There was a little dip between the PS2 and the Xbox 360. And it was only because of work. I was in the middle of like really pumping up my career, and I was working a lot, 7 days a week, 16 hours a day, all that kind of stuff. And gaming just kind of disappeared for a while there. And then all of a sudden I got the 360 one day, and then holy shit, from that moment on, then the PS3 came in, and then it was all just, I don't want to say downhill from there. It was all uphill from there. It was just everything was on the up and up because I haven't slowed down, haven't stopped. But there was only like a period of about a year where I almost didn't game at all. And it was just because I didn't have time. I was never home. So, you know what I mean? It was not and I didn't invest, right? So there was no point in investing in something I couldn't play. But to answer your question, though, actually, there is one other thing. Like, I actually find that a lot of times, like, and I've never been shy about it. I've been very vocal about it, about I have anxiety and very minor depression issues. But I do have my anxiety can get from like nothing to pretty severe depending on the day. But, the things that I find that help me work through that is exercise. That's number one. And gaming, well, tied for number one would be exercise and gaming. And so, in fact, gaming has done I haven't stopped gaming. What ends up happening is that gaming has actually saved me in a lot of ways, right? And it sort of kept me grounded. And if I'm having a day full of a lot of anxiety, stuff like that, and if I'm not working out that day or whatever the hell is going on, I can go downstairs, do my own thing. That's why I game offline a lot. And I mean what I mean by offline, I don't mean offline. I just mean I don't want to play multiplayer games.
Right.
I want to play a single player game where it's just me, the character, and the world. And that's why I'm such a huge component of open world games, because I just get lost in them, right? Yeah. And so that's why, I'll play my Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I got 1850 out of 1850 achievements. Okay.
Jesus,
damn.
Oh yeah, I don't fuck around with Assassin's Creed.
200 hours to get that shit?
It was about 210 hours, and I get every single achievement for every Assassin's Creed game ever. I get thousands out of thousands or whatever DLCs, that kind of stuff, because I get involved, right? And then it takes me away from that anxiety, whatever else. All of a sudden, half an hour after gaming, completely calm and cool, and I'm totally good. But if I was playing Call of Duty, I mean, my anxiety would probably go even higher, so I probably wouldn't play things like that. I'll play like single or even Days Gone. I got the platinum in Days Gone. There was nothing more rewarding. Like, I'm a zombie nut. Okay, love zombie games, love zombie movies, all that kind of stuff. So wandering around in those, in where the hell was it, in Missouri or whatever, I can't remember where the hell it was, Colorado. You're running around on your bike and you got the tunes playing and you're going around, you're bashing zombies' faces in and doing little things here and there. That I just took all that anxiety away from me. I know that sounds kind of morbid and sick, but that's what it does. As for the three choices, I'm going to go with this. Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation 1. Just because it was the first time that I actually, on my own, I actually felt like, oh my God, they nailed horror. And I'm a big horror guy. I love horror movies. I love horror games, that kind of stuff, and survival horror. I'm a huge fan of that, whatever. And I was so sucked into that game. It was unbelievable. I would say the other one that I would take with me would be Tomb Raider. And Tomb Raider is another one. That was my first real. I have so many memories because I remember how Tomb Raiders always came out in November. Yeah, November, December, somewhere around there, right? And I've always had these fond memories of even when I was in my 20s and that kind of stuff. And it would always be wintertime, obviously here in Toronto, whatever else. And I'd have the windows open at night, the blinds open, whatever, and I just watch these big, majestic snowfalls going on. And then meanwhile, on the screen, I'm in the Amazon somewhere, right? Or I'm in Egypt, or I'm wherever. And it was always kind of fun. I always enjoyed it. I don't know why, but I always loved just being cozy with a blanket on and just sit there and just play Tomb Raider in the middle of the dead of winter. Loved it. And I don't know, it just made me feel so comfortable, calm, and cool. And the last one, this is for nostalgic reasons, King's Quest on the PC.
My man.
And I'm gonna say the original King's Quest on the PC, and the reason why is because when I was young, my dad worked a lot. He was in the medical business, and he was never home. And obviously, you know what I mean? He worked 16 to 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I remember he said something to me very interesting, funny enough, and that's actually something that ties into what we were talking about with my career, and something that I stopped doing the minute I had kids. Is that he said to me, for the first 5 years of you and your brother's life, I never saw you guys awake. That hit me so hard that when I had kids, that's when I walked away from the restaurant business. Now I'm still a chef. Okay. I'm still an executive chef, still all that kind of stuff. But I walked away from the restaurant business because I'd be working from 10 in the morning, wouldn't get home till 2 in the morning. And I remember for the first half year of my son's life, when he was just an infant, I never saw him awake. And then I said, motherfucker, that's exactly what my dad just said.
Wow.
And I said, I walked into work, I swear to God, a week later, and I said, I'm done. And I never went fucking back to a restaurant ever again. And anyways, that's besides the point. But the thing is, then when my dad's businesses started taking off, his medical businesses started taking off, he was home more. And he bought King's Quest. He bought a PC Junior. Everybody remember that computer?
All right, so you're answering my question. I was going to ask you
if it was the PC Junior,
EGA or VGA. That's going to tell me. That's going to date you a little bit.
Oh dear God, I don't even remember. Jesus Christ, it was like 40 years ago. But I got to tell you, it was a PC Junior 128 KB. Okay, it was like $2,000 at that day. Now, like you can get that for 50. Yeah, it's crazy. And he bought King's Quest, and he says, "Guys, let's sit down and play this." And for someone who didn't get to spend all that time with my dad when in those first like 5 years or so. I mean, I was just a kid. I didn't know any different at that time. But at this point, I was starting to become like a little person, right? And my dad, my brother, and myself would sit down at that computer for hours and hours and hours, and we would play King's Quest just trying to solve the little puzzles, the riddles. How the fuck do you get inside the well? Like little things like that and whatever. And like
the damn tree hole in it. Yeah,
that's right. The tree with the hole in it, and like the witch from Hansel and Gretel. How do you get her inside the oven? All kinds of stuff like this. And it was just such a magical experience. It's such a magical time that now I'm 46 years old and I still never forget that all those hours sitting in front of that computer with my dad and my brother playing King's Quest. So that would be my third pick.
That's
nice.
Wow.
Story,
you brought me back about because I'm only a year older than you. So I started my PC gaming on a Tandy 1000 EX.
Wow!
I had that 3-channel sound, baby.
Hey, have you ever played any of those PC games with the audio cartridge, the audio cassette? You actually have to press. You have to press play.
I had it,
and then Frogger would show up on your screen.
When I had my Atari, I had an 800 and a 1200 XL, and I had shit like states and capitals and learn Spanish and German. But you'd have to. That thing would take like 45 minutes to load. Yeah, I remember that stuff.
Damn.
Great selection.
You're gonna have to come on my show now, and you and I are gonna have to have a talk about the old days.
Anytime.
You just brought me to a place I hadn't thought about in many, many years.
Well, anytime, brother. You know where you can find me. Noof, you got a super chat, and I got to disappear for a minute.
You bet, man. I got a super chat indeed. So the super chat coming in from Resident Link. He drops $4.99 the second time tonight. So thank you, Resident Link. He says Zelda Ocarina of Time, great selection. Need for Speed Underground 2, that was a classic, and Metroid Zero Mission would be his 3. So pretty damn good picks from Resident Link indeed. Good stuff. I like the variety, man. Everybody's got a bit of variety too. That's pretty cool. It's not like Virtua Fighter 1, Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Fighter 3. You know what I mean?
Right. There's nothing wrong with Virtua Fighter.
No, I love Virtua Fighter.
Let's just be, you've got an outstanding chat room, Noof. I got to drop it to you, man. You've got an outstanding chat room.
I do. We've said that for many weeks. Like I said, we got a crazy chat that shows up for a lot of regulars, and they're just very engaged. It's crazy. I love seeing it, man.
You know what's funny? No dislikes. Maybe because Titan's not here.
And generally, I don't think we get too many because I think anybody that truly listens to our podcast knows that we're genuine. We mean well. We're not here just to come out and trash clickbaity shit. Like we love gaming. We love whatever platforms. You know what I mean, and it resonates. And I think people get that. So, and I think that a lot of good podcasts do the same thing. So, you don't have to hate on things to get love. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It's amazing how that works, isn't it?
Yes, it's a weird thing. People should try it sometime, because there are some very talented podcasters out there, very smart podcasters, and you kind of go, man, you really want to like them, you want to love their content, but you're like, why are you doing what you're doing? You could do so much better. You don't have to be this way, but hey, it is what it is. It's how they run their show. I run mine the way I run mine. That's all I'll say. I'll land off real quick and saying, guys, I'm trying to keep it quick. If I was in that scenario here, my games, I'm going to go back with some games that really have a lot of meaning for me. Like the Genesis to me wouldn't have been the Genesis, honestly. I mean, I love Sega. I'm a Sega kid, always have been, always will be. But it wouldn't be the Genesis without Sonic the Hedgehog. And to me, if I wanted to, if I was going down memory lane, that's the games that meant a lot to me. Sonic was amazing. That, redefined Genesis, edgy, colorful, speedy. It was the opposite of Mario, but I love Sonic for that reason. And it was just, and it was, like I said, it defined that generation. It defined the Genesis. And, if I think 9 out of 10 people, if you talk about Genesis, they're going to bring up a Sonic the Hedgehog game. I think it's pretty safe to say. I mean, Sega really came in with that game, and we all remember those flashy graphics going through Emerald Hills the first time. You can hear the music in your head. You remember fighting Robotnik and thinking, "How cool is this shit?" Great stuff, right? After that, it was the game that saved me for gaming, and that was Gears of War.
Oh, beautiful.
In 2000, I was like Meg. Then transition between PlayStation and PS2 and stuff and Xbox coming over to 360 was a real transitional generation for me. I was at that point in my life. I mean, I obviously passed my teens, getting into my later years, but it was like I was just a lot of stuff was going on in my life, and I was in some weird places, and a lot of stuff was going on, and I was kind of like, man, I don't really know if I want to do this gaming stuff anymore. You know what I mean? And I almost walked away from it. It's like, I think I'm just done with gaming. I just can't handle this stuff anymore. Too much going on. And it was Gears of War. Still reading the magazines that we kind of talked about earlier, I think, before the show started. Reading the magazines, seeing pictures of this unbelievable game by Epic Games coming out exclusively on the Xbox 360. And I already had a 360. I wanted a 360 for Call of Duty, but for Call of Duty 2 when it came out, because it was like nothing I'd ever seen. I was like, wow, now this is World War II. You could almost smell the bullets. But when Gears of War came out, it was just like, nah, this is some next level stuff. This is stuff that's like, man, if this game doesn't looks like these pictures, man, my underwear are going to be dropped for weeks. And sure enough, the game came out, blew my absolute mind. Remember playing through this game multiple times with different friends, having an absolute blast. The graphics, the horror element, the locust coming up out of the ground, the emergence day, the larger than life characters, the crazy ass roadie run at the time, like almost shake your screen apart. So it had to be Gears of War, man. The Ultimate Edition is even better. Like if I go back now, I kind of got to play the Ultimate Edition because it looks and plays even better than the original. But original Gears of War, and probably the game of my last generation, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, because they took a great game that I always loved back even in the Sega Saturn days and Tomb Raider, and they made it everything that you kind of wanted it to be. Smooth controls, great graphics, fleshed out character. Love Rise of the Tomb Raider. Of all the 3 Tomb Raider games that came out, that's my favorite. I think they're all amazing games, so definitely go play them. But yeah, those would be mine that I would take with me, because I was at a bad point in my life, and I never had a physical ailment that keep me down, but I did have, like all of us, anxiety, a little bit of depression, those sorts of things. So I don't take stuff for granted anymore. I certainly try not to take people in my life for granted. Gaming is an important part of it. Gaming gets me through a lot of the tough times, and I realize that now, that sometimes gaming is our therapy. I think a lot of us feel that way, because in gaming, you can go to worlds you'll never be in. You can be anything you want. You can be the top scoring athlete on a team. In gaming, no matter if you're a disabled person struggling with those things, if you're able to play the game, you can stand on your 2 legs. You can be faster than anybody else, jump higher than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like gaming transforms us in lots of ways, and it's way better than movies because you're a part of what happens in the game. Sometimes the outcomes are created by what you do in the game, where you can't say that at movies you're just a spectator. Games, you are a participant. I love that about gaming. That's why I think this is the best medium of anything in the world right now. And you know what? You don't have to risk your health with gaming. Like you don't have to worry, it's not like being a motocross guy and each time you go out, you don't know if you're coming back with broken limbs. I mean, typically, what's the worst? You might scum up your controller or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you get tendonitis, but for the most part, gaming is a pretty safe hobby, overall. And it's just fantastic. So yeah, like Ace says, gaming is kind of like our drugs. God knows my wife says I'm addicted. It's all about balance at the end of the day. But anyway, those would be mine. And like I said, shout out to everybody out there, like I said, that struggles with things and still manages to keep going. So shout out to everybody. I love those stories. Like Mike, we had a guy on here a few weeks back that Titan Drago put in here. He plays Smite with our Titan, discovered him through Smite. He has no arms. And he manages to play games. Wow. I think it's no arms or no hands. I can't remember. Maybe it's that no hands. But he has no hands, and he plays games. And he's telling us a story of how he plays these games and kicks people's ass with basically like nubs, I guess, if you want it, for lack of a better word. And the story that he told us was fascinating. I actually want to get him on a podcast to do kind of a one-on-one because the stories that just fascinate me. I think they're fantastic. I watch those videos of guys that, play the games with like devices up to their mouth, and I'm blown away because I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I can barely play games with a regular controller. And these guys are out there kicking ass with their fucking feet and their mouths and shit. And I'm just blown away. You know what I mean? Crazy shit.
That's outstanding. That is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, he has no hands, and he played with him yesterday. And he actually, you're thinking, oh, he's got no hands. He just plays. He's a participant. No, he's actually really good, apparently. So it's really cool stuff, and I'll have him back on the show again here in the near future. So that's cool. We had a super chat come in. We got Tony Boneloni on standby here. Where was it? Did I miss it? It's coming in from Assassin Lupa, our good friend. She drops $5. You guys always cheer me up early mornings. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I guess it's early morning where she is. I forget that. There you go.
She loves her some Tomb Raider, too.
She does. She says, facts, Nukem getting lost in games is a fantastic. Making friends, gaming, awesome. Made all my friends while gaming. My gaming fan, 100%. And she told us great stories, too. And we're playing community game night, and she's telling us how she loves community game night because you can be yourself, you can have fun, and you don't have to worry about ridicule because apparently she used to play years ago with like a lot, you get those people on and you're a woman and you suck and that stuff. And that's very discouraging for people. Nobody wants to hear that, whether you're a guy, you're a girl, whatever you might be. You want to go in and have fun. You're not there to be ridiculed. So great stories. All right. We had Joe Dunmore says Mike Tyson Punch-Out on the NES was one of my best Christmas ever. That's a great one too, man. I had a lot of fun. So we got Mr. Tony Baloney on standby, and I think he's got a few words for us tonight. So, Tony, you come on in here, brother.
Do I got a few words for you guys? First thing, Nukem, get that goddamn thing off the screen. You're blocking half of my beautiful suit.
Hang on, it's coming off here. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Ridiculous. Let me tell you something. First of all, I got a lot to say tonight. And you know what? Jesse Dobby in the chat, I saw him earlier. He was talking. He's saying, I'm worried that Tony Baloney's not going to be able to follow up the Ask Arnold section. Bullshit. Tony Baloney's going to absolutely destroy tonight. And let me start with the panel. First of all, Phantom, Phil McCracken, whatever your name is, a.k.a. Yo Hansel and Gretel. You're actually a really nice guy. I got nothing bad to say about you.
Oh, thank you.
And who else we got here? Oh, Mike Mullet. Okay, let me tell you something, Mike Mullet. Your name is too fucking long. The original Next Level Gaming? Jesus Christ, how am I supposed to say that in the chat? I mean, I could call you Mike, but I mean, if I had to call you by your gaming name, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? The original Next Level Gaming? Okay, here, I got a name for you. How about this? It's going to be called The Original Next Level Gaming, who also likes long walks on the beach. Shorten your name. It's ridiculous. That's almost as bad as middle-aged game guy. Jesus Christ. Now, let me tell you something else. Oh, by the way, Assassin Lupa, you put 850 hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey? What the fuck were you doing? I got 1850 out of 1850. Well, the mag did, not Tony Baloney. Tony Baloney was just drinking and watching. However, what did you do for those other 640 hours? What were you fucking all the NPCs? It's ridiculous. Now, Titan Drago. Titan Drago. How about this? I'm so happy you're not here tonight. And let me tell you why. I know why you're not here. You're not on vacation. You're afraid. Okay? You're afraid of what happened to you last week. Noob said it. Everybody else said it. Everybody on Twitter said it. You're afraid. Oh, wait. What do I have to do it like Rocky 4? You know when he's talking to, what's his name? Adrian? And then he's like, you can't win. And then all this other stuff. And he goes, I'm afraid. All right? I'm afraid. You want me to say it? I'm afraid. That's you right now. And let me tell you something. I'm very happy that the servers in Smite were down this week. So happy. And you know what? I'm more than happy. You know why? Because I told Phil Spencer to do it. That's why. Now, Nukem, your last topic, very morbid. Right up Tony Baloney's alley, I'd like to add. I have my choice for the last game I like to play if I had 1 week to live. And it would be Smite. You know why? Because as soon as the loading screen would come on, I'd throw myself out the fucking window and put myself out my misery. So I wouldn't have to sit there for a week worrying and going, oh, shit, I got 6 days left. No, I would have 6 seconds left. As soon as I saw Smite on the screen, I jump out the window and it's over. Done. Now, I have to
I'm
honor.
gonna have to mute myself in a second.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm only getting started. Now, the doctor gave us a super chat last week.
Yes.
It didn't go through, but he actually sent it to me, and I'm going to read it, and I'm
Yes.
going to try and read it with a straight face. So
And then he
this,
drops on here. He says, "Yo, Noof, remind Tony B to check his text. Important life question. The doctor drops $5, and I think you got the question on hand."
I have the question right here, and my God, this is next level. You thought next level gaming was serious? This is next level. Listen to this. Tony B, Jesus Christ. My girlfriend finally agreed to put her finger in my ass, but only if she gets to wear gloves. Gloves would kill the romance, right?
It will protect you from COVID.
Of course, gloves would kill the romance. I mean, wouldn't you want to carry the smell with you for the rest of the day so it reminds you of the one you love? So that you go to work, you make sure you don't wash. Hey, forget about COVID-19 guidelines about washing your hands. You don't wash your hands so that later in the 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll be like, oh, I missed the doctor. I haven't seen him in so long. And, maybe I can revisit it tonight. Savor the flavor, so to speak. My God. Doctor, you're a sick man. You need mental help. Okay. Does anybody have questions for Tony Maloney this evening?
Well, I was going to ask you about your last game, but you already said it is Smite. So, yeah. So,
all right, Tony.
Go ahead.
I know your stance on baloney. If you have to marry one, kill one, fuck one. Spam, corned beef, and a Vienna sausage. Which one would it be?
Ooh.
I would fuck them all. Right in the ass, right, doctor? Anybody else have any ridiculous questions for Tony Baloney?
Oh, I can see Tony Baloney now with spam in his hand.
Oh my God!
If you were going to be an Outriders character,
yes,
what would you be?
Oh, what would I be? I would be Tony Baloney. That's who I'd be. I'd be a fourth character. You know why? I'd be my own class. It would be called the VD class. So what would happen is I would go in there. I would start smooth talking all the ladies. Everybody would get venereal diseases and die. There it is. Yeah, they wouldn't, of course, die right away. What I do is I go into an area, infect everybody, and then I'd leave. And then 3 months later, everybody's dead. And then I'd go in and invade. Perfect.
You have to see what is going on here right now because I have lost it. Holy shit!
Mike Molly, you're doing just fine.
Oh my God!
God damn!
Wow!
Oh, Titan Drago's got a question, Noof. You want to read that? The fraud himself is here.
Comes in at the last minute with a question. Tony, what does Mag do to avoid screen glare from his bald head?
What I do is I take a bucket of my wife's foundation and I rub it on my head. That's what I do. And then what I also do is when I shave my balls, I also do that as well. I put foundation on there so it doesn't have a glare when I'm taking selfies of my testicles and sending them to people. Particularly Titan Drago.
Oh my God!
Titan, check your inbox tonight, buddy. Happy vacation.
All right, we got a super chat, and we're going to take one more question. Fast back. Yes, from the NLG podcast. He draws $5, and he says, great to see my NLG brother Mike on Gaming After Dark. Noof, middle-aged game guy, Titan Drago. You guys have a heck of a funny, positive show. I love it. Good stuff. And we got Iceman. We'll take this last one. Says, hey, Tony, this little girl keeps taking my lunch money. What should I do?
First of all, Iceman, grow up. You're going to let a little girl take your lunch money? I wouldn't even let a 350-pound goon take my lunch money. You're going to let a little girl take it? You know what? I'm really upset about this. Noof, the fact that you highlighted one of his little comments earlier, you should be removed. He's going to be banned from this channel from now on. And then you know what I want you to do? I want you to go to that little girl, and I want you to go take that money back, okay? And then I want you to take that money, and then I want you to go to some man classes. How about that? Enroll yourself in some man classes and man up. Little girl taking my lunch money. It's utterly ridiculous. It's making me so upset. I didn't even forgot my drink this evening. Unbelievable, Iceman. Unbelievable. Well, let me tell you something. Doesn't look like there's any more questions for Tony Baloney this evening. However, I will be back in fine form next week. I'll be doing my push-ups, my sit-ups. I'll be drinking pink champagne. I'll be ready because Titan Drago, you better bring your ass back here because you're going to get destroyed again. That is a promise. That is a guarantee. That is not anything else but a guarantee. So, anyways, everybody, yes.
I see you're not riding the ladies, but you are riding an interesting machine in the background.
Oh, don't worry about it. There's actually a dildo attached to the seat there, right? So that yeah.
Is that
So
a
don't
dildo
worry
puller?
about
What
that.
the fuck is that?
Yeah,
Is there,
yeah.
is there a glove?
No gloves in this house. What are you, crazy? And by the way, to answer somebody's question, the only thing that's positive in this podcast is me. Positive for every single disease out there. Now, anyway, Tony Baloney will be returning next week. And of course, I will be battling once again on Drago's Corner or Titan's Corner, whatever the fuck it's called. It doesn't matter what it's called. It should be just called Titan Loses on a weekly basis. That's what it's called. Anyways, everybody, have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see you all next Tuesday.
Great stuff. Awesome. Tony Baloney in fine form as always. Each and every week, guys, catch him here before the end of the show. One small topic before we close out the show. We don't need to beat this one to death. It's not that big of a deal, and it's a sign of the industry, sign of the times. Iceman drops $4.99. Tony for the win. Thanks again, Iceman. Appreciate the love, brother.
Thank you, Iceman.
Yes, good stuff. So it's, like I said, sign of the times. I know if you're like me, I do have a bit of a hankering for the Lego games by Traveler's Tale. Been waiting for the Star Wars one to come out for some time. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love what they do with the movie licenses of those games. They're fun. They're great to play with friends and family. Like I said, it's a break from all of the serious games that we tend to get. And they don't pull any punches. It's kind of like they make a game that's just fun. It's not like filled with a whole bunch of junk, so to speak. But it looks like it's been delayed indefinitely. We know that it's the Skywalker Saga, which is going to encompass all 9 of the Star Wars films from the old ones that we know and love back in the day to the episode 1, 2, and 3, and all of the new stuff in between. So I can't wait for the game. The one thing I certainly hope they bring to the game, if they're going to take some time with it, take your time. I'm all for it. Make the game bigger and better. I'm cool with that. But guys, please add online multiplayer. Please, 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 on behalf of everybody that's played a Traveler's Tale. You guys did it one time, and it was with the Star Wars The Complete Trilogy. And you haven't done it since. They basically just do local co-op. And I get it. But they need to really do online, because I would love to play through the entire 9 games in the saga with a friend. I think that would be awesome. And they have the capability to do it. And you can't say it's a finance thing, because those games sell like gangbusters every time they come out. So they should have the finances and resources to get the job done. But just, what do you think about it? Is anybody even looking forward to that game? Maybe you're not, maybe you are. And what do you think about the delays? And are you kind of a little bit almost tired of delays at this point? It seems like every game now hits a delay, no matter how long they've been announced in advance. Because the Star Wars game should have been out early last year. And now it's probably going to be late this year at best. So let's go with the guests, unless we want to go with Mag first. Mag, I don't know if you're on a timeline. Got to get the hell out of here real quick. But
yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I could just jump on this real quick. The thing is, we obviously know what's going on in the world, right? Mm-hmm. We know what's going on with COVID. We know what's going, and it's not only devastating people's lives and so on and so forth, but it's also decimating a lot of on-site work. Right. And it's delaying a lot of things. I think that what they did here is actually super smart by saying it's delayed indefinitely, which leaves it nice and open-ended from their end. So it relieves a little bit of pressure and it relieves a lot of focus from the public. Right. So if you let's say you delay it and you say, oh, it's delayed till whatever. I don't know. Let's just make up a date. July 3rd. Okay. July 4th, whatever. Mm-hmm. Then everybody's going to go, oh, Star Wars is coming out July 4th. So now everybody's thinking about it. It's now in their consciousness. Right. Or they say, and then all of a sudden, July 4th, they're like, oh, we're delaying it to October 1st. Then people are like, oh, okay, well, it's October 1st. As October starts rolling around, everybody's going to go, oh, it's coming out soon. It's back into consciousness again. By saying indefinitely, what you've done is that you've removed it from the public consciousness. People are just going to forget and they'll go all right, well, when it comes out, it comes out. And then they focus on other stuff that's actually coming out in the meantime, right? So it takes the focus off. It takes a lot of pressure off of the team now that they can actually work on the game properly. Because you got to understand, a lot of these people, they're working remotely, and it's not the same. It's not the same. Like one dev or even a supervisor can walk from one station to the next station and goes, hey, guys, what are you working on over here? And then check it out and go, oh, that sounds good. Oh, that looks really good. You know what? Send those assets over to that team. They're going to add this and that and the other thing to it, and then just whatever. Now they're doing it all on Zoom, phone calls, text messages, emails. That's got to be tough, man. Because it's even though it's it's the individuals working in computers and so on and so forth and programming, but a lot of it is hands-on work. And so they're not able to do this right now. And who knows if they're ever going to be able to go back and do this. I know that Microsoft is actually planning, from what I understand, that Microsoft is saying that they're going to encourage working from home moving forward because it's a lot cheaper. You know what I mean? And but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, that was one word I heard. But anyways, as for delaying the game, I think it's a good idea. I think that, like I said, using the word indefinitely is smart. And when it does come out, it comes out. And whatever. I'm going to wipe it from my mind and just focus on what actually is coming out this year and maybe into next year and whatever else. Same thing like they delayed Gotham Knights, right? They delayed Gotham Knights and they said, well, it's 2022. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I just forget about it. We got Halo coming up. We got, I don't know what's, we got Ratchet and Clank coming up for the PS5 in June, I believe. Resident Evil 8 is coming out. I got my hands full of stuff. So it's fine. Just delay it. Let it go. Take the time it needs.
What the fuck am I watching?
Oh my God, Loof, what are you wearing?
Is that Arnold?
Is that
Oh,
Arnold?
it's me. I'm here in the flesh.
Oh my God. Shit.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh,
I told
Jesus.
you I'll be here. Now you can see me. I'm not being a pussy. I'm here. Watching
You
the
had
show.
bad plastic
Get back
surgery,
to it.
Arnold.
That's a lot.
Actually, that looks more like Arnold now does these days anyway.
Yeah.
Between him and Stallone and all the plastic surgery.
You know, the next show should be, because you did a little Stallone there. I heard Tony Baloney do a little Stallone. The next show should be Stallone and Arnold.
Oh my
That would
God,
be
yeah.
one hell of a debate over gaming.
Man, that mask is freaking me out, man.
It is freaking me out.
Don't
be
you like it?
perfect
I've had the plastic surgery. That's the best thing about being a celeb. You can afford it.
Yeah, so much that you're talking and your mouth's not moving.
Hey, do you,
No,
you guys want to see Tony Baloney's mask?
I can do lip
Oh!
sync.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm actually Tony Baloney under this. This is the mask he wears on top. Yeah.
That is fantastic. But yeah.
Anyways, I was done there. And you know what? I like what Sony does, by the way. Sony does something interesting when they delay a game. They just say it's delayed,
right.
and then they give the team as much time as they require to release, a real polished AAA banger. You know what I'm saying? Like even when they delayed Uncharted, what, like 3 times, 4 times, whatever it was.
3 times, yes.
Yeah, it was more than that. Yeah, and you know what? When it released, it was fantastic. I had no problem with the game. I had no issues with it. There was no server problems or any issues like that or whatever. And by the way, you see me doing all this shit with my arms? I actually do this the whole show. You just guys can't see it. I'm a fucking wild man. But anyways,
okay.
Point is, yeah. So I mean, follow that route. Give them the time that they need to release the game. I'm looking forward to it. I love Lego games. I 100% every Lego game I ever put my hands on. Actually, the last one I did was the Harry Potter collection. I got 2,000 out of 2,000 because I'm not going to stop playing it until I get 2,000 out of 2,000, right? So, and I love Lego games, but yeah, and of course I did all the Marvel ones and everything else. And actually, it's funny to mention that the Star Wars ones are actually the most difficult ones to complete, and because a lot of them they don't hand you, what to do and where to go and everything else. I found them to be a lot more difficult. I think they've made them a little easier over the years, but that's just me. But anyways, when it comes out, it comes out.
No, go ahead, Phantom.
Well, I think it's just a product of the world we're living in right now. COVID has messed up a lot of things, and a lot of studios are also avoiding any cyberpunk situation with releasing the game, and the game comes out like trash. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big Lego fan or anything. I know maybe there's a lot of people like you knew for anticipating the game and they want to play it. So. And like Max said, there's a whole bunch of games this year. Halo, Psychonauts, there's a whole bunch of them. So let them finish the game. Let them take their time. Be safe. And when it comes out, hey, hopefully it's going to be fantastic. So that's pretty much what I got to say about this anyway.
You guys have said a lot of correct things. I'll just add this. There are 2 companies that come to mind. Actually, a company and a person comes to mind that when a game is delayed. So back when I was covering games, stuff like that, I used to ask id Software, hey, when is Quake 4 coming out? When is Doom 3 coming out? When is this game actually releasing? And the answer they gave me was when it's ready, when it's done. They never id Software never gave a release date for a game until they knew when it was. And so they didn't have to worry about delaying it because they never gave you an answer ahead of time. And then I'm always reminded of this quote: "A delayed game is eventually good. A rushed game is forever bad." And
Absolutely.
that will always be. And a game, it's funny because to date, Cyberpunk 2077 is still, unless I missed it, still not in the PS Store.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And that is, I am surprised that CD Projekt Red is not in a lot more kind of fiscal trouble than they might be, and maybe they are, and they're not saying it.
Yeah.
But this is you take the time to do what you have to do, and look, Microsoft did it with Halo Infinite.
Mhm.
I happen to be friends with a guy who is trying to launch a new console into the market.
Mhm.
Who tried to launch a new console in October of last year,
Mhm.
couldn't, wanted to launch it in April of this year, couldn't, and is doing it in October this year because COVID just, and they're in California. So my friends in the chat know who I'm talking about, and Television is bringing out a new console, and the guy can't get it out the door because he can't get his own people into their offices to do FCC testing, and he can't get China to manufacture the damn thing because they're all shut down. So this is something that affects everybody, and yes, Traveler's Tales has been a long-standing company, but they're not EA, they're not Ubisoft, they're not Microsoft, they're not Sony. They're still an independent developer that probably needs the time and the help to get this stuff out the door. And this is different for a lot of people. So I am all for just work on it, and I love their wording. I know that I know they said, I know it was turned, the interpretation was indefinitely, but I like what they said. We won't make our intended spring release date, but we'll provide updated launch timing as soon as possible.
Yeah.
That's it. Finish the game, get to where you think you're able to go, and then you can talk about it. I mean, looking at what this game is, it's going to be huge. This could possibly be the largest Lego game that they've ever created. I mean, just looking at what it's going to be. So take your time.
I think release dates for a majority of the games now, if you ask my opinion, I think they're more or less placeholders. They're placeholders for the stockholders, for the people in the company that are obviously watching the dollars, and they want to know, like, a big game drops in the fourth quarter, so some of them will get their bonuses, they get whatever, there's money involved. I mean, games aren't made easy, and they're not made cheap. So a big game coming out could be the difference between a good year and a bad year for some of these companies. You come up with a big release, it gets out the door. We saw the pressure to get Cyberpunk out on time, but the funny thing with Cyberpunk is, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did they not say the game was pretty much gold, and this was back before it was supposed to launch in November, right alongside the Series X? And then all of a sudden you're like, usually when games are gold, they should be in pretty good shape, the majority of it, and all of a sudden, boom, no, we're not doing it. We're gonna wait another while. We got to do more tests. It's kind of like, so the game was gold and ready to go, but now you got to go back and do more testing. We obviously know the debacle that followed suit, and it still continues to a certain degree. I don't know. I haven't tried the game now since the latest big patch came out. I think it was like a 40 gig patch.
Yeah, it's
so
40 gig patch. Man.
Pretty
it's
freaking
huge.
large. So hopefully it's getting a little closer to the original vision. I wish them well. I mean, I don't wish any ill on any developer, because making a game has got to be unbelievably hard, and even more so, as Mike said, trying to do all this stuff from home, trying to coordinate efforts when half your staff are all over the place, and God knows what kind of gear and stuff they're working with at home. Like, we really don't know unless you're in that field on the ground level. And of course, the bigger the game, the bigger the demands. These things. The only medium right now that lends itself to is probably music, because you can pretty much go and record music in a small room with minimal equipment and stuff, but that's not so with gaming and movies where you have a lot of moving parts. And you're trying to coordinate all those moving parts between directors and sound techs and animators and all of this stuff. I can't even imagine. So we do need to cut these guys some slack. People have been very hard on the industry. The fact that any of these games come out at all is almost a miracle. So give them that. But anyway, I just can't wait for this game to come out. I'm not a huge Lego guy. I've never bought all of the games, but I just do find them a nice distraction or a good bit of fun. And like I said, if you got kids, you got family that just want something that kind of mindless fun where you can go back and relive some of those great movie experiences without taking itself too seriously, those are the games. So, yeah.
By the way, Mike was lying. The console that he was talking about was the Soulja Boy console.
I thought it was the KFC one.
Point that out. Yeah.
That's yes.
Yeah, that was the one. Or the KFC one. Yeah, one of the two.
KFC one, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Take-Two is coming. That the game it takes two. Everybody's playing it, and I'm hearing nothing but praise. So cool! Kudos to Hazelight, and everybody is enjoying the shit out of it. I can't wait to try it. I'll pick it up here sometime soon. Hopefully, like I said, because it's Noof Nukem, I'm probably gonna go buy a physical copy of the game. It is out physically, so I'll try to pick it up there, and I'll play it with whoever wants to play with me. So there you go. Well, let's get ready to close the show. I think we've said everything we need to say. And any further thoughts on any of the stuff we brought up here tonight? Or are we good, guys?
No, we're good.
We good.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed your time on the show. We certainly enjoyed having you here. We definitely miss Titan, but we know he'll be back next week in a fine form. He was pretty vocal in the chat, and I'm sure Meg and Tony Baloney will definitely have their share to say. Fun speculation says my wife's favorite game, maybe of all time. That's a pretty lofty thing, and it seems like they're really loving it. Great couple to be playing it, Mavin and Kaylin. So kudos to them. Saw a lady and 3-Bit playing it together as well. Good stuff there, guys. But anyway, it's time to get out of here. We'll start with our fantastic guest with Phantom Kraken first. So Phantom Kraken, again, thanks for being here, my brother. Appreciated it. Great stuff. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Let people know where they can check out your content, what's happening, what's next in your world.
No, absolute pleasure being here, man. And nice to meet Mike, Noof and Middle Age Gamer Mag, Tony Baloney, Titan. I miss you. I hope you would have been here. But anyway, it was total fun. What am I doing? Working in the mornings, trying to take as much time with my family, and the little time I got is just to play 2-3 hours of video games. And and where you can catch me at Phantom and Twitter, or every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern at WBG Podcast with Dirk Greedy, and that's pretty much it. And thank you very much for having me, man. It's very fun.
We'll have you back in the future, man, as long as you're willing to participate. Glad you could be here, Mike. Thanks for being with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourself on the show. Obviously, it sounds like you had a pretty good laugh, and that's what we do here, man. We come out, talk some games, talk some whatever, and just have a good laugh, and that's what it's all about. Hanging out with good people, having a great time. And you brought it to the show tonight. We'll have you back here, like I said, in the near future. Looking forward to it. Let people know where they can check out your content and all the good stuff.
Well, first off, I want to thank you and Middle Age Game Guy and Phantom. It's great to meet you. All three of you guys are going to be on our show one day when we can get you on, because this was outstanding. This was absolutely outstanding, and you really have a good thing going here. The segments are hilarious. And it's really great to have been able to go back in time a little bit as well. Just to, when you brought up King's Quest, man, I mean, King's Quest, Police Quest, Space Quest.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you unlocked some youth for me. So, I mean, that was really great. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on here. And like I said, Noof, you in the community game night, anytime I can jump on and play, I'm gonna. I just need to know long enough so it doesn't take 6 days to download whatever game we're going to play.
Yeah, that's right.
But so you'll find me on Twitter at OG_NL Gaming. That's that's actually our NL Gaming Twitter. I'm kind of using it now because Twitter decided I wasn't worthy enough to be on Twitter. So that's a whole other story. But you can find us on YouTube on just put in Next Level Gaming, and I think we're like the second one down. We are our show goes Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we typically, it's myself, Fastback, and HTK, all of which are in the chat tonight. And it's, it's a fun show like this. It's not nearly as funny. I don't have a Tony Baloney. I just don't. I just don't. But we try to, we try to do some, we try to do something a little different. We don't necessarily try to cover news all the time. We try to pick some games, talk about some games, give some people some perspective. And, come hang out in our chat room. Our chat room is, we have some great gamers in there too. And then I do try to put out some videos now and again. I'm actually working on one. I do retro. I'm working on one that I'm going to bring out this weekend on my favorite shoot 'em ups, shmups, the vertical and horizontal shooters that you played in the arcades, or you played on the Saturn and on the Sega CD and on the Genesis. And I'm working through that, and then I do some live streams. So there's a game that I actually saw on Game Pass. Sorry, Noof. Called Genesis Noir that I think I'm going to take a crack at. And I'm going to stream it. And then at some point, Assassin Lupin, I think, are going to go through Outriders. So
nice.
So that's us. And hope you guys, definitely going to have you guys on. And I had a great time. This was fantastic. Thank you once again for the invite.
Yeah, anytime, my brother. I love that microphone too, by the way. It's giving me a crazy radio vibe going on here. I love that stuff. That's great, man. Good stuff.
$12.
Sorry?
$12.
$12. Steal of
$12.
a deal. Damn.
I paid more for the Phantom Power brick that it powers than I did for this microphone. It was amazing.
Well, it sounds good, and it looks awesome. I love it.
Thanks.
Good stuff. All right, and before we get out, obviously no Titan to outro tonight, but last but definitely not least, middle-aged game guy.
Yes, sir.
Let people know where they can check out what you've been doing, brother. Like I said, you've been busy, man, the last little while, and definitely making a name for yourself. We love having you here. We're very fortunate to have you and Titan as part of Gaming After Dark. This is one amazing trifecta. Love the chat. You guys are amazing. And but anyway, brother, let people know where they can check out you and your content and anything that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, some of my personal content is on hold once again because COVID is ravaging Toronto as we speak. We might be going into another full hard lockdown. Yay! Good times, right?
Damn.
So, anyways, yeah. So that's on hold. But you can find me here every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Noof Nukem and Titan Drago on Gaming After Dark. On Monday evenings, you can find me 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Mr. Boomstick XL and friends on Primetime Gaming. If you want to follow me on the gaming side of things, I'm on the Xbox Series X and on the PlayStation 5. Same word, same name, all one word, all capitals, because I don't know how to be quiet. I am the Mag. That is with 2 G's, so you can follow me there. And chat, our second family, we like to call you guys. You guys are always awesome, always amazing. And, of course, our guest tonight, Mike Mullis, the Next Level Gaming, of course. And, of course, Phantom Kraken. You guys were both amazing tonight. We had such a good time. And seeing that Titan's not here, I guess Tony Baloney was the only person who brought Carmen back.
Dude, I'm still laughing at your intro of him, Johansel and Gretel.
and don't worry, I will be changing the name of our channel to be a little bit shorter.
Oh shit, man, he does those things every week and they're hilarious. Great play on names. All right, anyway, you guys know where to find Noof Nukem. Always in the gutter, yes, and not next to Yamada. But yeah, right here on this beautiful channel with these beautiful people. I'll be back again next week, same time, same place. And yes, I'll be doing community game night again this Saturday. I just haven't picked out the games yet. I want to try to get a few more going on the PlayStation. I feel like I've ignored that console, and I know there's people that are dying, chomping at the bit to kind of play some games over on that particular platform as well. Don't forget with Mr. Tushy, Animated Evil, and those guys, they start community game night much earlier than I do because they're in the UK, so they started around 2 o'clock. It's my time, which I do believe that's like 4 Eastern. So if you want to get in on the action before it gets past your bedtime, go check out what they're doing. Make sure you're following those guys. They always have a great list of games lined up. And they generally pick their games from Game Pass. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, there's no excuse for not having a game. And it's an absolute blast. It's not about kill-death ratio, statistics, all that crap. It's just good people having fun, playing some great games, having a few laughs. It's honestly, until you've experienced and been a part of a few community game nights, you don't know what you're missing. It's the next best thing to being back like we were a kid when you had LAN parties, except, well, you can't punch them in the arm when they kill you. And there's no greasy pizza grease all over the place. Well, it could be, but I usually don't eat pizza when I play. But anyway, guys, I'll try to get that organized for you guys some more, so keep an eye on my Twitter for that shit. In the meantime, let's get out of here. Great show tonight. Great guests. Always a good show. We'll catch you guys same time next week, guys. Have fun. Good luck. Be well. Stay well. And we'll catch you soon.
Take care, everybody.
All right, take care. Play on, gamers.
Good night.